welcome to the Talk Film Society podcast. I am your co-host this season, covering Awards Season 2024. I'm Marcelo Pico. Did I say that? And with me, as always, is the other co-host of this show, covering the glitz, the glamour, the shiny awards, the celebrities, the prestige, not the movie, but the actual prestige of Award Season 2024. It's Siobhan and Marcelo. Hello, Siobhan.
Hello, Marcelo. Thank you. I am the co-host for this season as well. And it's the glitz, the glamour, the fashion, the star power, the makeup, the singing, the dancing, all of it. It's so wonderful.
It's incredible. The love.
Thanking God. Big ups to God.
Or not, according to Golden Globes host Nikki Glaser, who pointed out that not too many people were thanking God the other night at the Golden Globes, right? This is a reference to the Golden Globes that just happened a few days ago.
Now that lady, that sounds like some of that classic Nikki Glaser acerbic wit.
All right, so look, let's get into it. We're hosting this show. We love movies. Siobhan, how much do you love?
How much do I love movies?
Yeah, how much do you love movies?
I really love movies, man. Like they're I don't know. This might just be me, but I think they're really important.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I love movies too. I mean, we're kind of joking up top, right? We're kind of goofing off, right? We're goofing each other off. But seriously, I've been doing this podcast stuff, covering movies this is, I think, my 11th year doing it. I'm still not tired of it. I'm not tired of talking about movies, watching movies. You would think so by this point, right? Like, how much do you have to do one thing until you get tired of it, right? Do I do this for another 4 more years? Well, call it quits at 15, then move on to something else? I love movies that much, I guess.
Yeah, we love movies enough that we watch the same one over and over and over and over, and talk about it in the same way for 30 episodes over on our Southland Tales podcast.
Coming soon. Coming back.
And movies in general, of course. Marcelo, how could you, if it's something you love, I don't know why you would ever stop loving movies. Maybe you fall out and watch a little less one year or something, but you're never going to stop loving movies. Why would that happen?
Exactly. Yeah. If I don't love movies, then I'm not.
Or film.
If I don't love a film, if I don't love movies, if I don't love moving pictures, then something's wrong with me. Then call the police.
I've never met a film that I don't love.
You've loved every film you've seen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Exactly right.
So that's us. By the way, up top, enough joking around. Up top, I want to get this out of the way. The Talk Film Society Awards, the 12th annual. This is now the 12th time we're doing this. We're asking our listeners, that's you who are listening, we're asking our readers who read our website, where we don't do much writing anymore. But we have a Substack. If you read our Substack, you can vote. Hey, we still post on Twitter and Blue Sky occasionally, really occasionally. The most important thing, if you're on the Discord, oh my God, we love you. Especially because you're there talking about film. I want everybody who's in the Discord to vote. I'm going to command it somehow. I'm going to force everybody in the Discord to vote in the Talk Film Society Awards because, God, we as of this recording, we're 2 days into voting. I need a lot more people to join. No, but there are 2 solid weeks of voting. So voting ends on January 20th. It started on January 6th. So from January 6th to January 20th, the voting in the first round of the Talk Film Society Awards. Those are the dates. All right. So why January 6th and why January 20th? Those are just random dates for me. Okay. It just so happened that January 6th was Monday and January 20th was another Monday. So, but also easy to remember, right? On January 20th, when whatever happens, you also have to remember, I got to fill out my ballot for the Talk Film Society Awards. TalkFilmSociety.com/TFS Awards. You'll find the link to vote there.
Please vote.
All I want to say.
I encourage you. Vote for what you want, okay?
Yeah, exactly.
You don't just got to copy the bullshit that we're about to talk about. Okay?
No, don't.
Vote for what you want. What was your favorite stuff of the year? If you only have like one or two things you cared about, go vote for those two things. You don't have to fill out all 30 pages of the whole thing.
No,
you can just fill out like two things and be fine. And we love that too. We love it.
Yeah.
Every vote, we love it.
Yeah, it's a long ballot. I'm glad Siobhan pointed that out. Hey, for the first time, 23 categories. Okay. I don't know why I added more. Maybe I wanted to match the Oscars because the Oscars also has 23. I also updated the website. If you go to talkfilmsociety.com/TFS Awards Archive, you can see a page where you'll have every year's winners. Every ceremony we've had, you'll have all the winners there, okay? Siobhan, who won the first Talk Film Society Awards, the best film of the year?
Was it him or her? I can't remember.
I believe it was her. Yes, that's a good one.
Thanks.
Now, 2014. Can you guess who won then? Best film?
Boyhood?
Boyhood is correct. Okay. Let's keep going. 2015.
Yeah.
Best film of the year.
What came out in 2015? Like the Hateful Eight?
No.
I don't know.
Here, let's play this game. Best film of the year, Talk Film Society 2015. The nominees: Carol, Creed, Ex Machina, The Hateful Eight, Inside Out, Mad Max Fury Road, Sicario, Spotlight, Star Wars, The Force Awakens, Steve Jobs. Who won?
Was it Mad Max Fury Road?
Correct. Mad Max Fury Road.
Correct. All right. Hateful Eight was nominated.
It was nominated.
The right year.
You were close. 2016. Any guesses?
No. Years aren't great, man.
I'll just give it to you. Moonlight.
Matched to the Oscars for the first time ever.
Yes. 2017. Any guesses?
No.
It feels like you were gonna say something. What were you gonna say?
La La Land.
Oh no, the law is very similar. Think
Lays. You can only have one. You can't.
That's right.
Be one. Highlander.
Lady Bird.
Lady Bird. Yes.
2018.
Lady Bird 2 came out that year, I think.
That's right. The Favorite. 2019.
Yes. Why?
Why The Favorite? Listen, people loved it. I like it.
A fan of that one.
Parasite. Sorry, I said the answer. 2018 Parasite. Let's get through this.
2020. A lot of year. A lot of movies.
2020. Any guesses? Best film of the year. Talk Film Society Awards.
Yeah, of course. I have so many guesses. What movies came out in 2019? I don't know.
No, 2020. The films of 2020.
It was the films of 2020.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, so we've got that Chiwetel Ejiofor movie that was like Anne Hathaway, right? The over-zoom movie
that wasn't released in 2020. Nomadland 2020.
Nomadland
2021. Any guesses?
So this is the Chiwetel.
Yeah, correct. that movie, that HBO Max release. Dune 2021.
Dune. Wow.
Okay, and now we're getting into because this is the third year we're doing this. So now we're getting into familiar territory here.
Okay.
2022. What won the Talk Film Society Awards Best Film of the Year?
When it was something that I directly had a hand in.
Yes, we talked for several episodes about the nominees and the eventual winner of 2022 Best Film of the Year.
There's a theory that long COVID is like destroying our brains.
There's a theory.
Right?
Yeah.
Our memories deteriorating us.
I'll give you a hint. I loved this movie. You did not share that love. I don't think you like this movie that much.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, the nominees of 2022 were Avatar: The Way of Water, The Banshees of Inisherin, The Batman, Everything Everywhere All at Once, The Fablemans, The Menu, Nope, RRR, Tar, Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah, Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yes.
Copying the Oscars again with one of those wacky, goofy movies, like that movie's just so wackadoo, rando.
People love it.
But it has heart, too. That's what we love about it.
All right, 2023.
The dildos are so funny.
What film won the Talk Film Society Awards Best Film of the Year 2023?
So this is not last year.
This is literally last year, 2023.
Killers of the Flower Moon.
Correct. Killers of the Flower Moon.
We got it right. We got it right once.
Yeah. Finally. So can we get it right this time? talkfilmsociety.com/TFS Awards to find out.
Hey,
all right.
There's 2 sequels to 2 previous winners that came out this year that are eligible this year.
Wait, what? Oh, I see. Yeah.
Furiosa and Dune 2. So
interesting.
That's interesting.
So will we see Dune 2 and Furiosa be nominated this year? Like, this is exciting. I didn't think about that, Siobhan. All right. That is whatever that was. And now for the news. or actually, Siobhan, we should talk about our guests this week and the categories we're covering before we move on. Our guest this week, that's right. Look at the podcast description. Read it.
Yeah.
Absorb those 2 names.
And I'm sorry, first off.
Next week will be a lot better. No, I'm kidding. It's the Cinema to the Leather boys. Thomas and Bryan. They're on the show.
Cinema to the Leather boys. Thomas
Cinema to the Letter.
Marinera, Mariani, and Brian Andrade. Hey, look, we love them.
Can't get enough of them.
We love to hate them.
Yeah,
they're on the show again. They're classic representatives of their show and being on our show.
Yeah.
So, what does that mean? Hey, look, we have a good time with them. We have fun.
Yeah, we do have fun. Yeah,
we play with them. We toy with them.
And when we were coming up with this season of shows, we thought, who better to handle these 2 categories than these 2 boys?
It was great.
Yeah.
These 2 categories, costume design and makeup and hairstyling.
Absolutely.
We needed 3 men who know nothing about that to be on this episode. That we knew we needed that.
But I think we will have a good discussion, and we won't be talking about recent events because you know what? I'm not going to tell you why. But stay tuned in the next segment for those 2 great guests and that great talk that'll run about 2 hours. All right.
So what's our main topic of the intro?
The main topic of the intro, I teased it earlier. It is the Golden Globes. They just happened a few days ago. We're recording this just a few days before this episode drops, a few days after the Golden Globes. I want to get this out
the Goldies
as soon as possible. Because I want to make this podcast up to date with current events. It's like, okay, the Golden Globes happened.
The first major awards season awards show. What'd you say? Major.
The first major one, yes. I mean,
the one that people think of when they think of awards.
There have been film critic circles, which doesn't count. I mean, come on. There's no ceremony. They just announced them. They're like a press release.
The shows that have happened, those are for us type of assholes.
Yeah.
Right?
The Gotham Awards, sure.
The Gotham Awards, yeah, whatever. But But the Goldies, those are for everybody. That's a thing that, is on TV, and people, watch it if they want. People have heard of it. It has name recognition.
Yeah, to your point, Siobhan, people watch this. People watch it. I watched it this past Sunday. I sat down, had a nice meal, watched the entire 3-4 hour production from beginning to end. Siobhan, tell me about how you experienced this ceremony.
I watched, probably like 3/4 of Nikki Glazer's monologue, and thought she was doing very well. She was very funny. Her jokes were good, but personal things this last year that happened. I used to. Okay, I'll say it. My mom passed away. My mother passed away. And the Oscars were like a very, very big thing to us, and awards season in general. We would watch the Globes too. We would watch all of it. Try to catch up on everything every year. And, it was a big thing for both of us. And so, I had an emotional reaction while watching the Globes alone for the first time ever. And I ended up having to turn it off. It was not Nikki Glazer's fault. It's not the film's fault. I just was not able to emotionally handle it.
Yeah, which is fair. And I said this before we started recording, Siobhan. I'm going to make this an experience where you would not have to watch the entire ceremony. Yeah. Right? You're going to get that exact same thing right here.
The only thing I ended up seeing was a couple of acceptance speeches, and I will want to talk about those later, actually.
Yeah. So here we go. So I saw it. I'm going to give my quick impressions, and then we'll run down the winners and the losers.
Nikki Glazer, quick impression.
Nikki Glazer. She was outstanding. She was incredible. I laughed several times. Definitely an improvement from last year.
Oh, my God. Joe Coy? Yeah. Very big improvement, yeah.
Will go down as one of the worst, not only Golden Globes hosts, but one of the worst hosts of anything ever.
Did she poke fun at him? Was there a joke about him?
I don't remember there being a joke.
That would have been in character for her.
Yeah, but
I've always loved Nikki. I ever since I was a teen, getting into podcasts and stuff, and she's always been a favorite of mine. And I think her comedy is very funny. The roasts, I've always she's great. Yeah, I love her.
So she was outstanding. Now, when it comes to Nikki Glazer, I have a little game, or not game, but a little thing we could go through. Okay, I have a BuzzFeed list. And I was complaining about BuzzFeed off mic, saying it's the worst website to be on right now because it's unscrollable. But BuzzFeed has a rundown of her, quote, most outrageous and hilarious jokes from the entire ceremony.
Oh boy!
There are 28. Okay, ooh. Siobhan, let's do maybe 3. Okay, pick a number between 1 and 28, and I'll read her joke.
Are these ranked? Are they just through the show?
I think they're chronological.
Okay. Let me hear a bit that I probably would have already heard already. Let me give me 4.
Okay, number 4. Tonight we celebrate the best of film and hold space for television.
Right, making fun of Ariana Grande.
Yes.
And Cynthia Erivo.
Yes.
I mean, it's good.
It's a solid.
Her delivering it on stage, pretty good. It's not a bad joke. It's just
not bad.
I'm not busting up over here right now.
Okay. You know what? Let's see if the next one busts you up. Okay. Pick another number.
Okay. 15.
15. All right. Scrolling through. We can't talk about movies tonight without talking about Wicked. I did not know much about Wicked going into this year because I had friends in high school.
I did hear that joke. I remember that joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was a good one. That's a good one.
That's a good one, yeah. I did not know much about Wicked going into this year because I had friends in high school. Because, people who liked Wicked are nerds, right?
Theater kids. They're dorks.
Theater kids. Yeah, they're dorks.
Yeah, losers.
All right. Are you busting out the gut yet?
Again, good joke. When I heard her deliver it, I did chuckle.
Okay. Another number.
Okay, well, it seems completely random. So, go to the end. 23. Final one.
Number 23. Selena Gomez is here, double nominee tonight. And she's here tonight with her new fiancé, Benny Blanco. And Benny Blanco is here because of that genie who granted him that wish.
Hey, that's good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
That's good.
Yeah, it's good.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Making fun of a little fucker Benny Blanco.
Nikki Glaser, good job. That is the Nikki Glaser roundup. I'm closing these tabs in order to save my iPad from just shutting off. All right.
Yeah.
Fuck you, BuzzFeed. The winners. You didn't see the entire ceremony. How many winners? How much have you read post Globes? Like
I did just for the purposes of this. I did not purposefully read into much, but of course there's been discussion. I know like most of the major awards, I would say, like the above the line stuff, or a decent amount of it. Like I know the big two. And I know the Bear was winning over there at the TV section. Or no, it was that other show.
Hacks won some awards.
Hacks, but I was thinking of Shogun. Yeah, Shogun. Anyway.
Yeah, I refuse to talk about the television aspect of the Golden Globes.
No, I apologize.
Yeah, I'll cut that out of the show too. Just any mention of TV. Now the film aspect of the Globes, your main takeaways from because you know the top two winners, right?
Yeah, I do.
Let's talk about them. Okay, let's start the conversation there.
Well, I'm very excited to see one of them.
Yes.
I have not seen either.
Yeah, I wonder which one you want to see and which one you don't want to see.
I am very excited to see The Brutalist. It sounds quite brutal. It sounds like an emotional experience that I do want to have right now. I am not in the headspace for our best comedy or musical winner, Amelia Perez. It just seems annoying. And that's about it. But I will watch it eventually if, I get my hands on it. My dirty little mitts. I think it's very funny that it won. I have no reason to be extremely pissed or anything, like I have seen a lot of people being, because I have not seen the movie. I don't know. But, it's just, I think it is funny that it won. And that's it. That's all I got.
Yeah. I love
and look, it's the comedy category. It's supposed to be funny.
It's hilarious.
The category is supposed to be funny, not the movie.
I can't wait until we do our favorite scores of the year, so I can play some songs for Amelia Perez.
Oh yes, yes.
No, look, I'm on record already on this show. Even I am not a big fan
on this show.
Amelia Perez. I'm not a big fan of Amelia Perez.
Not a big fan.
I love The Brutalist, though. I've been saying that might win the Best Picture Oscar. I've mentioned that a few times on this show.
Yeah.
And that I've already heard people say the Golden Globes don't matter. I mean, well, they've been saying that for years, but again, I hear it again. It's like the Golden Globes.
How true is that?
Stop.
I don't know.
No, I see. That's the thing. In the long run, I think they do matter because they're like we were saying earlier. They're the first big one. Like they're. I mean, the fact that they're happening and there's so many stars there, and so many acceptance speeches happen, and so many surprises, and like it means something. It means eyeballs on movies that. Before this, a lot of people didn't know about. So I'm assuming a lot of people found out about The Brutalist when The Brutalist won, and also Amelia Perez.
And a lot of people have Netflix. They probably went there and booted it up.
Yeah. They're not going to boot up The Brutalist because that's going to be in theaters in a few days. Like it's
they got to put their boots on.
Yeah,
to get to The Brutalist
and go out to see it. I made a point about that in the Substack I wrote promoting the Talk Film Society Awards, which you can read over at talkfilmsociety.com/TFS Awards. Go out and see The Brutalist. All right, it's not the easiest thing to do, especially if it's not playing near you. But if it's playing near you, go to the movie theater, spend 3.5 hours experiencing it. It's worth it.
Beautiful.
All right. Can't say the same for Amelia Perez or not a lot, but a few other films are not in that same category for me. Like sorry, Conclave, you're enjoyable enough, but you're not on the level of The Brutalist. Sorry, a lot of these movies are good though. My take on Emilia Perez winning over a lot of these great movies here. It won over Nora, Challengers, A Real Pain, The Substance, and Wicked. All those movies I like a lot better than Emilia Perez. All those movies I'd say go see that over Emilia Perez. The Brutalist winning over A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Nickel Boy, September 5th. I haven't seen Nickel Boy for September 5th yet, but it's definitely better than A Complete Unknown, Conclave. And yeah, as much as I love Dune Part 2, it's better than that. So there are a lot of great movies out there, I guess is what I'm saying, right? And the fact that The Brutalist won, fantastic. The fact that Emilia Perez won, I don't know, man. I don't know. We can move on, but yeah, whether you think the Golden Globes matter or not, the fact that these two movies won, the two big ones, and the fact that they won like Best Supporting Actress for Emilia Perez and Best Actor, Adrian Brody, The Brutalist, and Best Director, The Brutalist, and Emilia Perez won Best Original Song. The fact that they won so many in each of those categories, yeah, it makes them the de facto frontrunners. It makes them both like, yeah, they're the ones with the most eyes on them right now. So that's the state of the race. Like that's what I wanted to put out there here at the beginning of the episode. Now we're looking at The Brutalist versus Emilia Perez.
It feels like it. I don't want to completely write off everything else.
No.
Yet, but it does feel like maybe I feel myself shifting away from, like, I keep saying Nora when you ask me what a win, and I don't feel that anymore. But, like, I still feel a couple more. There's a couple that might have more of a chance. Like, I still think Wicked has a decent chance, and stuff like that.
Absolutely, and not to say like something other than these two might win. It would be actually a pretty good surprise if something like a Nora wins, or I'd be okay with Conclave winning. Yeah. I'd be okay with Wicked winning. So we'll see. It's still kind of open, but for right now, yeah, The Brutalist, Emilia Perez up top. Let's go through more of the winners. Why don't we? Siobhan, Best Animated Film. Hey, we just talked about this with past guest Joey.
Our friend, Joey Hamilton. Yes.
Do you know who won this one?
I wonder what he feels about The Wild Robot.
The winner...
No, not the Wild Robot.
No.
Is it The Wild Robot?
No, the winner of Best Animated Film of the Golden Globes was Flow.
Oh, yeah. Yes, of course.
Yeah, which was a bit of a surprise because it feels like the underdog. But...
The undercat.
Good. Hey, Siobhan? Good one.
Good punch up.
Let's stop right here, and I want to just pause and just say that was a good one.
Thank you.
A little movie like Flow, and little in the terms of like it's not a big studio film, and it's made by just a very small crew. The fact that it won over Inside Out 2, Moana 2, and The Wild Robot. And even like Wallace and Gromit, which is also not a huge film, but also like
Wallace and Gromit. Oh wow.
Yeah, Wallace and Gromit: Vengeance Most Foul, that was also nominated, and also Memoir of a Snail, which also is a little small movie. But the fact that Flow won, I think it's big because I've said it on the Joey Best Animated Film episode. That's my favorite of the year is Flow. I love Flow. So good for me, I guess.
Yeah, you love Flow. I'm excited to see Flow. I'm not usually that way about these animated films, but Flow, if it flew into my life, I'd go with the Flow.
It's going to be on the Criterion channel, I think, soon enough because it's a Jonas Films release.
Wow!
Yeah.
Oh wow! Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah. Okay. Best non-English language film. That's right.
Parasite.
Emilia Perez.
Emilia Perez is non-English language.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I guess they're in Spain most of the time, right?
No. Well, that's the thing about this movie. It's directed by a French director, and it's set in Mexico. And
Mexico.
Not to get into it, but the French director whose name is escaping me. His name is Jacques Audiard.
Yep, that sounds right.
Yeah, he said, "Hey, I'm not going to do any research about Mexico or that culture. It's going to make my movie in Mexico." I don't think he even shot it in Mexico. I think it's just set in Mexico, but they filmed it somewhere else.
Yeah, just put a yellow filter on like a parking lot.
Here it is. It was originally set to take place on location in Mexico, but was moved to a studio near Paris instead. Yeah. So, listen, I have my issues with Emilio Perez, and what I just read is one of them. So, good for that, I guess. All right, let's move on. Best performance.
They were in a studio, but they had that Star Wars technology, the ring thing.
What was it? The void. That's great. Best performance in motion picture drama. Actor Adrian Brody. The Brutalist.
Got back up there.
Yeah, got back up there.
20 damn years.
In terms of acceptance speeches, it was a good acceptance speech.
Yeah, I was actually going to say I did watch his acceptance speech and I really loved it. Yeah. Would you mind if I read a little bit of it?
Sure. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So I transcribed it myself here. Okay. So he gets up on stage, comes to the mic. Yama, Jamaica man, you know, Rastafari, you got old family in the house, me got Sean Peter, me got Sean Paul, me got Sean Mary, me got Sean John, we all in the house now, man. Respect, all a spec, me wrist spec, me neck spec, me knee spec, me ankle spec, We got a real, we got a great show, we got a Kingston, the house over here. Boy, bruiser, blow up, kill him on, kielbasa boy. Yaman. We got the whole crew now, And then this is... Somebody yelled something off screen. I think they were probably telling him that they were about to play him off. And he says, all right, give a big up, enough respect, dance hall players, the Sean John. And then the music starts to play him off here. So I couldn't quite hear what he said, but I believe he said, Brooklyn Yama, kill Yama. Ooh, 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 ooh.
Yeah, you know what? Oh,
yeah.
I was getting choked up with you reading that, Siobhan.
It's a beautiful speech.
Beautiful speech. Adrian Brody, we wish you all the best. Okay, I was saying this in the Discord. The Brutalist winning an award, always great in my book, but that category, Best Actor, it's a solid one this year because you have Adrian Brody, you got Coleman Domingo from Sing Sing, Ray Fiennes is solid in Conclave, Sebastian Stan, he was nominated for The Apprentice in this category.
Oh yeah, The Apprentice. Yeah.
Yeah. And we'll talk about Stan in a bit, but when it comes down to it, if it's going to be Stan, Coleman Domingo, Adrian Brody, Ray Fiennes, all up for Best Actor, that's a pretty good four. Like, I'd be happy.
Sounds pretty damn good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I don't like him getting nominated for that movie. I wish it was the other one.
Span. Yeah. We'll talk about it in a bit. But yeah. I'd be happy with any of those four dudes winning. Best Actress, Fernanda Torres. I'm still here now. I don't.
No clue.
I'm sorry. Yeah. I've heard of this movie.
No.
I have not seen it. I don't know when I will be able to see it. I'm interested to see it for sure. So yeah, it is up for. It's shortlisted for Best International Feature Film at the Oscars, so it'll probably be nominated in that category.
It is cool, like a what is that? Is it Mexican or?
That is.
It is cool when like other language actors win.
Brazilian. It's Brazilian. Yeah. Yeah, but no,
you know what I mean?
Oh no, absolutely. Because Torres was speaking of great categories and great nominees. She was nominated alongside Pamela Anderson for Last Showgirl, which I hear was great. Not seen it. Angelina Jolie for Maria, Nicole Kidman, Baby Girl, Tilda Swinton, The Room Next Door, and Kate Winslet for Lee. So that's a hell of a category. She won over all those great performers. Legends. Yeah. But yeah, I want to see I'm Still Here. I'm sure that'll be a player when it comes Oscar time. Best performance in a motion picture, musical, or comedy. Best actor, Sebastian Stan, A Different Man. Now, this is the performance I want to be recognized at the Oscars. Like, wow, he should be nominated for this. I've been praising his work for months now, having seen that movie last year.
Really, ever since you saw Winter Soldier.
I'm like, that guy deserves an Oscar. Yeah, I've always loved Sebastian Stan. I, Tonya, no joke. I'm like, after seeing I, Tonya, I'm like, that guy's good. He's good. Also, no joke. His speech, I think, maybe my favorite of the night. Do you have Sebastian Stan's speech there to read, Siobhan?
Yeah, I do, actually.
Yeah.
I'll just read a little bit.
Okay, read a little bit of it.
It starts the same, actually, as Adrian Brody's.
Interesting.
Surprising. Yama, Jamaica, man, you know. I'm tearing up.
Oh God, just stop.
It was Rastafari.
Oh God, it's emotional. Too much.
I actually can't keep going.
Yeah,
we got the Sean Peter, the Sean Paul, the Sean. Oh my God.
Okay, I'm crying.
Great stuff.
But again, it's he's great in it. Great speech. Go look up that speech, folks. It's funny that Sebastian Stan won for A Different Man for best musical or comedy performance, which A Different Man is a little funny, but it's more drama than anything. Demi Moore won best actress.
This was the most exciting one.
Musical or comedy in The Substance. Again, The Substance, it's funny, but it's a horror movie, right?
Oh no, I laughed hard at The Substance. I disagree. I think it's very funny.
Okay, fine, but
I would call it I would call it a horror comedy, but honestly, I'm leaning comedy.
Okay, you know what? Fair. I don't see it as that. I don't, because comedy on the list of things was of what it is. It's also hard to define. It's hard to define, which is a good thing. I think it's horror, satire.
It's satirical for sure.
A satirical horror.
Call me insane. I almost want to call it a spoof movie. Like that's how funny I think it is. Like I think it's just I don't know. But
okay, however you want to define it. The fact that she wins in this category, I think, is amazing. The win itself, I mean, I think the speech is maybe the best of the night. Maybe tied with Sebastian Stan is like my favorite speech. I was watching it with past guest of this show, Elise, and Elise made a great point, and also very, kind of seeing through the speech. In a way that, yes, I believe 100% that Demi Moore was up there being earnest and basically saying, this is the first award I've ever won in my career. I've been doing this for decades, and I've never been recognized until this very moment because I believed in the script, in the director, in the movie, basically saying this is the role of a lifetime. I think she was earnest in saying that, but also Elise was like, that is how you create a narrative. This is how you win an Oscar, by being earnest, by basically laying it out, saying I've worked my entire career for this moment, and
she is politicking. She's talking to the next voters.
So
smart.
Again, I see why people say Golden Globes are nonsense, but also you got Demi Moore basically laying things out, saying, "Vote for me." And I think she deserves it. I think it's one of those rare moments of yes, that performance, where she's at in her career, it's a perfect cross section. Like I think she is the number one right now.
I mean, there's the old trope that people say, if you play nude, like you're going to get nominated or win even, and that's all you got to do. And Yeah, that's all you have to do.
Yeah.
And Demi Moore's going to win because of that.
Yeah. We'll see about her competition, but I think, yeah, she's in the lead right now.
I think she can eat them.
Yeah, she can eat she can absorb them and make one giant monster on stage at the Oscars. Best Supporting Performance in Motion Picture. These are all mixed. So drama, comedy.
She goes off before before the best actress is announced. Goes backstage, gets in the monsterolysis, comes out to accept the award in that.
And also not just a costume, but full makeup and effects.
The whole prosthetics.
Best Supporting Actor, Kieran Culkin, A Real Pain. And Best Supporting Actress, Zoe Saldana in Emilia Perez. Kieran Culkin, hey, I called it. A year ago.
Called it a whole damn year ago.
A whole damn year ago. I'm happy he won. I don't know if you saw this speech, Siobhan, as a fan of Kieran Culkin. I know you are.
I did. I did actually.
Yeah.
And his also really touched me.
Yeah. How so?
Yeah, here. Well, I think it might have been a running joke at this point because Kieran's a little funny.
Yeah.
He started his speech the same way that Brody and Stan did. He said, "Yama, Jamaica man, and then my favorite part of his speech was near the end. He says, "Boy, boy, 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 bruiser, blow up, kill him on, kielbasa, boy." I think that's so beautiful.
That is just, yeah. That, again, when I was talking about that's how you build a narrative with Demi Moore, I say the same thing about Kieran Culkin right there. He's building a narrative. He's going to win an Oscar.
For real, he does seem like the easiest lock of everything.
I think so.
He's it. He's the winner.
Yeah.
He's got it.
Yeah. Zoe's...
Sorry, Tucci or whoever the fuck from Conclave. Not you. Not this year.
You're Borisov, Honora, Edward Norton, Complete Unknown, Guy Pearce the Brutalist.
You're a bore, soft boy.
Jeremy Strong, The Apprentice, was also nominated.
Not so strong this year.
Denzel Washington, Gladiator 2.
You're washed up, Washington. Denzel washed.
What about Edward Norton?
Yeah, go. So go backstage and start Edward snorting and get out of there.
What about Guy Pearce?
Yeah. I'm sure this one will really pierce you through the heart.
All right.
Your loss.
Supporting actress Zoe Saldana. Now, in all honesty, she had quite the acceptance speech.
I heard that. Yeah, I didn't actually see her.
I like her. I don't think it really hurts her, this acceptance speech, but it could have.
But I did. I read somebody that was talking about. I didn't see the speech, but I read somebody that mentioned it. And this quote really spoke to me. Was we all in the house now, man. Respect, all spec. Me respect, me neck spec, me knee spec, me ankle spec, Yeah, so she's showing respect for it's really powerful.
But also it might hurt her because she basically is saying the same thing that Adrian Brody and Sebastian Stan and Kieran Culkin said, so we'll see. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Ariana Grande comes in and sweeps the Oscar away from her. So I'm serious about that.
Interesting.
Maybe Grande will come in. But again, we'll see. Hey, let's go through these other ones and wrap this up. Best Original Song, El Mal from Emilia Perez. I honestly, when they played the song, when the award was handed to the writers, I'm like, okay, fine, that's the best one of the movie, but also none of the songs are that good, in my opinion, or memorable. Like it's whatever. pass. Best original score. Now this one even got presenter Elton John like pumped up like when the name was announced. Trent Reznor, Atticus Ross were challengers.
Fuck yeah.
This is it's my favorite score of the year.
They have never deserved it more.
I know.
Than this one.
Say whatever you want about like what's the last one they won? Soul. I mean, sure. That score was fine.
But like
right?
it's like this is them at their fucking A game. This is their social network again. Like they're back to it.
It's incredible. I hope they're gonna for sure be at least nominated, right? If Challengers is gonna get anything, it's gonna get Best Original Score. It should get more, but whatever. But I love that Reznor and Ross, like you said, this is some of their best work ever. So glad they're getting recognized for it. Screenplay, Conclave. That kind of just seems like a also ran. It's like, hey, by the way, Conclave is here. Give them an award, which is fine. That script is fine. I mean, it won over Honora and The Substance and The Brutalist and A Real Pain, which I think not as good as those movies. That movie's not as good as those other movies. It did win over Emilia Perez, so I'm like, perfect. Best Director, Brady Corbet for The Brutalist.
Is that how you pronounce it?
I don't know. I've seen it. I've heard it pronounced different ways.
Sorbet?
I think so. I think it's like sorbet. Corbet. Brady Corbet. But yeah, I love this win. Obviously, love The Brutalist. He won over Audiard for Emilia Perez, Sean Baker, Honora, Edward Berger for Conclave, Carle Farge for The Substance, and Payal Kapadia for All We Imagine as Light. Solid win. Good win. And finally, Cinematic and Box Office Achievement Award. All right. Siobhan, do you know who won this?
I don't.
You don't?
I don't. Okay, but what won the most money last year?
I wish I had the Vin Diesel presenter like monologue he had before he gave the award out.
He presented?
Vin Diesel presented. And I want to bring this up. So, like I said, I was watching with Elise, former guest of this show, co-host of Stage to Screen on Talk from Society. And she was not joking when she said this. She looks up at the screen. She goes, "Who is that?"
Oh my god.
And I started laughing.
That's mi familia. God damn it.
I go, "That's Vin Diesel." And she goes, I don't think I've seen him in anything. In any movie. I don't know what he looks like.
You know what? Not surprising.
Yeah.
Knowing what she likes. I mean, that's not surprising.
So I thought, is there any Vin Diesel movie she would have watched?
Room? Saving Private Ryan.
No, I said that. I said it's Saving Private Ryan. She goes, haven't seen that. Okay, and I go, that's the end of the list. That movie, that movie alone is the only one I think you would have watched or will want to watch from Vin Diesel's filmography. And I was having this conversation with Elise, and I completely missed. Apparently, he was going on and on about whatever. He pointed to The Rock, and he goes, "Hey, Dwayne," like. It was weird. I need to watch that again.
Yeah, actually, I looked it up. I just looked it up.
Yeah. What did he say?
Yeah, he did start calling people out. We got my old family in the house family. Me got Sean Peter, me got Sean Paul, me got Sean Mary, me got Sean John, we got Dwayne Johnson in the house now. Me no spec. He said me no spec. Wow.
That's weird.
That's intense.
That's weird. So the nominees for Best Cinematic and Box Office Achievement: Alien Romulus, Beetlejuice, Deadpool and Wolverine, Gladiator 2, Inside Out 2, Twisters, Wicked, and The Wild Robot.
Okay, well, I guess I would assume Deadpool and Wolverine.
Incorrect.
Okay. There is a movie that Inside Out too.
Incorrect.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, they didn't just go most money then.
Yeah.
Or second most money.
Yeah.
I was hoping it'd be Deadpool, but how about like, I've already forgotten what you said. Wicked?
Yes, Wicked won. Wicked won the award.
Because it's got the best, box office achievement and cinematic.
Yes, you need both. It's not only a box office achievement, okay? Because that would be just Inside Out 2. Because Inside Out 2 won the most money.
Yes.
I say won. It earned the most money.
That's what I said too.
Technically, that's the biggest grosser of the year. But you got to add in cinematic achievement, okay? Mm-hmm. And to be honest, it feels like that. If you're going to hand it to one of those movies, I think Wicked is the solid choice there.
It makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. And those are the Golden Globes. Those are the film awards. Hey, Siobhan, you're up to date. Listeners, you're up to date. And now what? Now we just take it over to the Leather Boys, to Thomas and Bryan, from cinema to the leather.
Actually, Marcelo, we do have a little bit more
one more thing
to look at.
All right.
So, Marcelo, I'm going to bring it up later with our guests, but so-called. But we... where IndieWire did a list, they talked to 65 different directors and asked them their favorite films of the year. And we're going to bring it up later with our guests and talk to them and get some filmmakers that they want to hear about. But we definitely know a few filmmakers that we want to hear about. Marcelo. That's two filmmakers that are very, very important to our show.
Absolutely.
The award show.
Yeah.
We've got purveyor of both the Schrader Shredder and Schrader Shooters, Paul Schrader.
Ooh.
His top 10. And then we also have, in addition, a Stonewatch.
Oh my gosh, this is big, and I'm glad we got to this before we
Oliver Stone
went to the next segment. Oh, this is good.
Yes. So who do you like here? Which one do you want first? Stonewatch, Paul Schrader.
You know what? Schrader. Let's do good old Stone first.
Oliver Stone, JFK and Platoon. If you need some credits,
yeah.
Anora was the most surprising new film to me and really hit me hard. I liked it very much, so I'd say it's one of, if not, my favorite film for 2024, but I haven't had time to see many of the new movies yet. Now,
Oliver, please don't give us any backstory. Just say what you like.
I know.
Just move on. Okay.
Hey, okay, our other guy, the shooter, he keeps it simple. He gives us his own film, Oh Canada, The Seed of the Sacred Fig.
Oh, nice.
The Brutalist.
Yes.
Conclave. Amelia Perez.
Okay.
He was happy last night. Brutalist and Amelia Perez.
Yeah.
A Complete Unknown.
Okay.
My First Film.
Okay. Yeah.
Baby Girl.
Oh, nice.
And Horny. I Saw the TV Glow.
Oh, great. Yeah.
This is an interesting list.
So he has Amelia Perez and I Saw the TV Glow on there. Interesting.
Yeah, he's exactly. You know what? He balances it out.
Exactly. You know what?
All things in balance.
I don't think we need to go on. I think we found like the perfect list, like the perfect list of movies for 2024. It just balances out. Like we don't need to hear anybody else's takes on any other movies this year.
No, that's perfect. That's great stuff.
You know, I changed my mind. I want to hear two more opinions. The opinions of Thomas and Bryan, from cinema to the leather.
Yes, me too.
Yeah.
Let's hear it, boys. Come on in.
Come on, come out from behind the shadows. Come on, just get over here, please.
And just sit there. We'll introduce you here in a second.
Absolutely. So, all right. So, Paul Schrader, good job. Now it's time for cinema to the leather. I keep saying leather. I'm trying to say letter.
I know. I do it too on accident.
Listen.
I think that's why it started.
The show Cinema to the Letter. Thomas and Bryan are here. After this break, you'll hear them. We'll go through the best costume design and best makeup and hairstylings of the year. Can't wait. And we'll be back. And we're back. Hey. Whoa. I mean, we needed a break after going through those Golden Globe wins, right, Siobhan?
Goldies were insane this year.
And we don't...
So much to talk about.
We don't need to talk about them anymore, though. We don't need to talk about the winners, or...
We said everything we had to say.
Or the things that happened, the events.
The snubs, the flubs.
Yeah.
The events, the laughs, the gags,
yeah,
the gaffes.
Everything. It's all behind us, because now we have to talk about... who our guests are, right?
The two people in front of us.
Exactly. So we're talking with two special guests. Siobhan, do you want to introduce them?
What? They've been here. They've been here with us. This is their third time in as many years.
Whoa.
Talking to us. They host a podcast together. Then they come to our podcast. They act like they own the place. It's Brian Andrade and Thomas Mariani from Cinema to the Letter. Here today, the Leather Boys, we call them. Welcome, guys.
Affectionately, hello.
Hello. Yes, thank you. It's so inviting. We appreciate that welcome, and also Brian and I are also very aware of the wins that happened at the Golden Globes, and we're just as astonished.
Absolutely.
What was your favorite?
Completely astonished.
Yeah, Thomas first. Your favorite moment of the Golden Globes.
Yeah.
I mean, when Nikki Glaser said that one thing that was pretty outrageous and catchy.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. She's a wild one, you know what I mean? Oh, man.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, when Jeff Ross dies, she's the new roast master. You know?
Brian, what about you? Your favorite moment of the Golden Globes 2025?
Oh man, let me tell you, so many great wins, so many great outfits, just great stuff all around, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Oh, so good, so good.
Well said.
Well said, well said, Brian. All right, let's get down to business. Okay. It's been a year since we've talked to you, I assume, right? It's been a year, or
And that last time you guys were on, it was right after the Golden Globes last year.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yes.
So let's go around the table. I want to get into it. Brian, you first. It's been a year. How are you feeling about this year's award season / Oscar race? Your thoughts?
I mean, it's been a weird award season, I think, in terms of just I feel like this time last year we kind of knew what was going to win, kind of. It felt like, Oppenheimer and Barbie were both kind of just real, going full steam ahead just the entire year. But this year it's been kind of weird because it's kind of an ebb and flow of what's going to be hitting, what's not going to be hitting. It seems like some movies were maybe vying for awards buzz, but didn't end up getting anything. So it's been a weird year, but I mean, the movies have been pretty good, in my opinion. There's stuff I haven't seen yet because it hasn't come out where we are. We haven't seen The Brutalist, but it's been a weird year. But I've really enjoyed a lot of the movies I've seen, at least.
Nice. What's been your favorite so far, Brian?
Oh man, of the movies I've seen in the award season, or
yeah.
I mean, I was particularly really into Queer, the Luca Guadagnino movie, which was a bit divisive. I also was really into Nosferatu, which I saw last week. There's been a lot of great stuff, but it's also just been weird kind of waiting for a few of the big stuff to come out around, especially for Christmas, like The Brutalist and Baby Girl and stuff like that. But been some good stuff.
Thomas, what about you? The state of the race, according to you, and also your favorites.
Well, given how particularly I think this person has run away with so much, I think Sonic the Hedgehog is really going to win all the awards.
Yeah,
he's the fastest guy.
Yes.
I think like really racing forward. I think it's Tails' year for Best Supporting Actor. I think he's earned it. Especially with two tails, that's a real thing he's got against the competition. No one else has two tails. We know people have one tail. We're not going to say who. That's an open secret.
It's kind of like a helicopter and fly.
Right, that's true. Yes.
Sick.
Yeah, who else could do that?
Right. But I don't know. I think, I'm with Brian. That's been very interesting because this is the awards season post. Well, I guess not technically post the strikes. That would have been last season, was the one very much post the strikes. But this is the one that feels affected even more by the strikes. And it just feels very curious where it's like there isn't really a front runner yet. Like Brian was mentioning, kind of the lack of an Oppenheimer sort of trailblazer kind of coming through. But I think that makes it a bit more exciting. It makes it a bit more kind of like, almost like a standoff's about to happen. Like who's going to pick up the gun and do it in a really fascinating way that you don't really get usually with Oscar season. It becomes a lot more rote. But I mean, as we get more of the like precursors, we'll kind of have the season maybe flourish a bit more. But yeah, I like the kind of it's any person's game kind of era that we're in right now.
Now, would you guys say that it's been an atypical Oscar season?
I think so. We wouldn't quite say it was egregious nor classic kind of thing, but yeah, I'd say more atypical. But if you would say so, Brian.
I would, yeah, like what you said, Thomas, like just the fact that there isn't an obvious front runner. Like, I mean, obviously we don't know what's going to happen, but like as of late with kind of like the huge press tour that like Timothée Chalamet has done, like he has really like jumped up in terms of like best actor and stuff like that. So yeah, it's kind of just like interesting to see like, you know, I don't think anyone expected like Wicked to be as like a big of a hit and
True,
potentially, you know, best picture winner even, who knows, but yeah.
Here we go. I have a question.
It's all up in the air. Jason Reitman.
Gun to y'all's head. There's one to Brian's head. There's one to Thomas's head. There's one to Siobhan's head. Who would you put money on for Best Picture winner? Let's go Thomas first.
Yes, I have this gun that is being held by Shadow the Hedgehog, I believe, as voiced by future supporting actor winner Keanu Reeves. I think I'm going to go with The Brutalist. That one feels like it's kind of gotten a bit more of the groundswell. I think it's at least going to have a lot of nominations and be a big contender, but if I had to put money on it now, I'm going Brutalist.
Brian, what about you?
You know, I want to be negative and say that I think Wicked will win Best Picture because it's been very popular, but I do think
popular.
I do think Anora has a pretty good chance, and I think like a lot of people who see it, like it's, you know, a very small movie, and I think a lot of people really like it's really hitting with a lot of people, and obviously Mikey Madison is like, you know, an absolute star. So I'm gonna place my bet on Anora winning Best Picture.
All right. Siobhan, I'm sure I've asked you this question before, maybe on this episode, maybe in the intro, but maybe you changed your mind. Siobhan, Best Picture winner.
Yeah, gun to my head, pull the trigger.
Oh no, you've got an adamantium skull, so the bullet was pushed out of your brain, so you're still alive, so you have to answer the question.
Okay. I keep waffling back and forth every week. And I'm going to continue to do that. I'm going back to Anora, which I said the first week.
Okay. Yeah, I as for me, and of course this is, you know, let's forget the Golden Globes for a second, right? Let's pretend we don't know who won those awards, right? As of now, like, yeah, it's up in the air for me. It's either The Brutalist, Anora, Conclave, Wicked, even Emilia Perez I see sneaking in there. I'm just going to be wild right now and say Conclave. You know, that may have the push at the very end for Best Picture, but I don't know. It's really up in the air between like 4 or 5 movies. We shall see. But yeah. What a race.
Well, that was exciting. Great segment.
Fantastic.
Now, before we move on to our next segment, guys, we talked about, Marcelo and I talked about this in our first segment a little bit with some of our favorite filmmakers around here. But IndieWire put out a list of 65 different filmmakers, their top favorite movies of the year. They asked them their favorite movies of the year. Now, guys, I have sent to the chat a list of almost every filmmaker, every notable filmmaker, I thought. And I would like you both of you boys. This is a New Year's treat for both of you boys. To pick one of those names that excites you, and we can go through, find out what their favorites of the year were.
Now, do they each pick one, or do they have to come together
You
to
both
pick?
get to pick one.
Okay, just to make that clear. All right. Who wants to go first?
Brian, you first.
Okay, Brian.
All right. I have seen a couple of these. Like I saw Guadagnino's picks, so I won't pick him. I will try and go with someone. You know, I'm kind of really interested to see what Todd Field's favorite movies were, especially because wait, I am still thinking about
Famous car
Tar.
crash survivor.
Yeah,
That's right. Car crash survivor. Wait, is that Siobhan? You're referring to that story? I forget how it went, but I had a fun time telling it last year. Or was it the year before? What happened?
He really wanted Cate Blanchett in Tar, and I think he got a call that Cate Blanchett wasn't going to be able to do it. And then he immediately got in a car accident.
Right, yes, I remember that.
He ran his car into a tree, I think. Our joke was that he... Anyway. Let's scroll down to Todd Field.
He did survive. He did deliver one of the best movies of the last few years with Tar, but I want to hear what his picks were for best films of the year.
Sure, I do too. Now, it looks like he went the route of writing a whole fucking essay. So I just need to pick out...
I mean, you meet Kubrick one time, you're on his set, and all of a sudden you think you can write an essay for every question you get asked.
Hallucinogenic excursion of do not expect too much from the end of the world. A strange concoction of absurd humor, rage, and disgust with the TikTok world we occupy, he says. Okay, there's that.
Not a bad movie. I like that movie.
Ali Abbasi's The Apprentice.
Solid.
Surely he says more. No.
That's it?
Nope, those are his favorite too. But he wrote like 1,000 words on them.
Okay. Good for
He's
him.
got to do something in the 10 years before he makes his next movie.
That's true. Yeah.
I mean, he's living off that what is it? That bubblegum money, right? So he's writing. He's fine between projects, so he can do whatever he wants. All right, great picks from him, Todd Field.
From you, Todd Field. Now, Thomas, your pick.
A lot of interesting names on here, but I'm going to go with an underrated director who I like a lot of his work, and also I think he just has one of my favorite names of any director working today, Nacho Vigalondo.
Ah, yes.
Ooh.
I like him.
Big fan of
I like
Nacho
him.
Vigalondo.
I love Nacho.
Yeah.
And nachos.
Nacho. I'm looking through his filmography just to reacquaint myself with him. I love Colossal.
Time Crimes?
Yeah.
Time Crimes.
Time Crimes and Colossal are two very, very great movies, yeah.
Was Colossal his last movie?
No, it says here he's done a movie called Daniela Forever, which came out, was released at TIFF this past year.
He also directed the one good
wide
segment
release date.
of the very bad VHS Viral.
Ah,
Oh,
yes.
God, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, the one that was like...
Tolerable. Yeah.
passable.
100%, yeah.
You know what? I'll start from the bottom up. He gets us 5. Number 5. Not the political satire we asked for, but the JG Ballard, the landscape we didn't know we needed. Civil War.
Okay.
Number 4.
I like that movie.
Woody Woody. Rebel Ridge.
Yeah.
He mentions Woody Allen later, and I was like reading that.
Oh boy.
Rebel Ridge.
A movie I still need to see.
Great movie.
He wishes
Yeah.
Jeremy Saulnier made one movie per year like Woody Allen
Okay.
in the old days.
He could have said Steven Soderbergh or like another filmmaker that makes a movie a year.
To be fair, no. With Steven Soderbergh, it's like 5 movies a year. I don't think he wants to be exhausted.
Okay.
Number 3. Baby Invasion.
That's
the Harmony Korine movie?
yeah.
What?
I saw
There's
that.
another Harmony Korine?
Yeah, I saw that at Fantastic Fest. That I don't want to get into the story again, but I sat next to a few seats down from Zoe Bell.
Okay.
So they hold on. I'll quickly tell the story. It was Zoe Bell and Corey Feldman. They were in my same row watching Baby Invasion, and Zoe Bell lasted 30 minutes, maybe 20 to 30 minutes. Corey Feldman lasted about an hour, and the movie is only 80 minutes, I think. So good for them for sticking around for that long, both of them. I sat through it. It's what you expect. Some of it's interminable, some of it's interesting, but oh boy.
Yeah, it sounds like Karina,
It's
right?
quadrophenia for an urban tribe that doesn't exist and the product of a cultural movement that is not real. An object from another world.
Sure.
Okay.
2. Furiosa. I believe he means Furiosa, Mad Max Saga. A true, perfect, epic action movie that manages to do the unthinkable, to elevate the residents of Fury Road. In our memory, I believe he means Mad Max Fury Road.
Right. Good pick.
Yeah.
You love that, right? All right, number 1. His favorite movie of the year is the final episode of The Curse.
Okay. I guess.
Which,
if you want to count that.
I mean, hey.
Yeah.
Why not?
Why not?
Cool shit, that episode.
Have not seen The Curse at all.
It is I should rewatch that show. It left me kind of in awe. Not on the same level as like a Twin Peaks: The Return, but I could almost say, yeah. It's almost as shocking. Almost.
You're never going to forget it.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for humoring me.
Yeah, thank you. Segment closed. Now we move on to the big question here. It's a huge one. Siobhan, this question is so big, I want to toss it to you. I want you to ask them. I'm too scared to.
Oh, God. Thomas, I'm down on my knee. Will you tell me what it is that you have been watching lately?
I thought you'd never ask. Well, yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and talk about a couple of weird werewolf-adjacent movies that came out in December. I'll start off with the one that's vaguely Oscar-related, Night Bitch, which just hit Hulu recently, starring Amy Adams, and is basically about Amy Adams playing this woman who is a stay-at-home mom who previously used to work as an art gallery curator, and she feels kind of stuck in the modern homogeny of her life, and she kind of wants to break out, especially when her relationship with her husband Scoot McNairy, who's making a pretty big comeback this Oscar season with this and A Complete Unknown, she ends up taking on some animalistic qualities and turning into a dog occasionally, then prowling around her suburban neighborhood. And I was very curious about this movie based on the premise. I really wanted to love it. I think it's messy. I mean, I love Amy Adams. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. I love me some Amy Adams in general. And she's kind of sadly become like the modern Glenn Close in terms of like always a nominee, never a winner kind of thing in a lot of the Oscar races. And I was really pulling for this one, especially with the weird kind of genre construct that it has. And I also really like Mariel Heller, the director-writer, quite a bit. But it feels like it's in a weird kind of spot, especially as like it's kind of a horror movie, it's kind of a comedy, it's kind of a domestic drama, and I don't know if like all of the different tones mesh really well, but at the same time I think there's a lot of really solid stuff, particularly any movie that has Amy Adams doing a lip-syncing bit to Weird Al's Dare to Be Stupid is at least a movie I'm gonna like somewhat. And I really especially like her relationship with her son. The young twin actors who play the son, I think, are really quite good, and I think they play off of Adams in a really believable way. And there's a lot of interesting concerns, especially about like a suburban woman and how she kind of feels like her, certain expectations are put on her from either like her former friends that she knew from grad school in the art world, and even from like the suburban moms in her neighborhood. It's a curious movie. I get why it kind of like came and went sadly in theaters and hasn't really had a massive Oscar or awards push necessarily, but I think it's still like worth a watch, and I think it's definitely interesting. And then, as sort of a complete contrast, I think this came out the same week that Night Bitch had its very small release. I watched Werewolves, the Frank Grillo action horror movie, which I want to say, I didn't know the exact premise of this movie, but the premise is so dope. Where, like, basically, as set up in the early part of this movie, there's a whole issue with like a super moon, where like whenever this particular moon comes out, it activates a recessive gene in several people on Earth and turns multiple people all over the world into werewolves. Like, this happened last year and it resulted in apparently like 1 billion deaths because just like people randomly become fucking werewolves. Jesus. I know, that's insane, right? And so this movie's mainly about like the next year, like the supermoon's coming back, so everyone's preparing for it, kind of like The Purge, basically.
The Purge, yeah.
Right. Helps that, of course, you have Frank Grillo as our lead character, who is both an expat and a werewolf-related scientist who's trying to help find a cure, of course. Because you see Frank Grillo, you think like scientist trying to make sure about the werewolf technology. And he's held up with he's living currently with his sister-in-law and his niece, because the previous year his brother had become a werewolf and was killed during the chaos. So he's trying to like juggle that while also being, of course, a werewolf scientist, and also showing off his incredible abs inside of a tank top. This movie is constantly teasing like shirtless Frank Grillo throughout the whole thing, in a really interesting way. But yeah, I remember like seeing this trailer and I was like, this sounds like a lot of fun. And I heard a lot of people shitting on it when it came out earlier in December. It felt like it almost kind of got dumped in early December. But I think it's honestly a bit more like gnarly fun than people gave it credit for. I don't think it's great necessarily, but you can tell like it's made with a low budget, and there's a lot of stuff where they're trying to kind of cut around the effects for the werewolf, particularly because they use a lot of practical werewolf stuff, and it reminds me a lot of like Dog Soldiers in terms of it's like werewolves on like hind legs and like standing up a lot, and you can tell there's not like a huge amount of mobility, and they don't want to use CG as much, but there's still like a lot of rad like werewolf fight sequences and like really solid transformation stuff. There is some cool blends of CG and the practical werewolves that really work, and I'm all down for Frank Grillo as an action star. I think he's like such an incredible, fun, just like perfect B-movie action star, and he gets plenty of opportunity to make jokes. I believe at one point he says just like, "Hey, chew on this," that kind of shit, for like these giant werewolf creatures. And it's from Stephen C. Miller is the director, who had previously done stuff like the Silent Night, Deadly Night remake from like back in 2012, and I think he's grown a lot more as a director. I think this movie has like I mentioned, just like a lot of fun stuff in it. Some decapitations, some werewolf, scratching stuff for like just people covered in like werewolf scratches covered in gore. And also, relevant to our discussion for this particular episode, a lot of like werewolves in vests to differentiate them. Like there's one that's clearly like a punk guy who got transformed into a werewolf, so he's got like a fucking denim vest and he's got like punk rock kind of like mohawk going on at the same time. Mainly I just wanted to shout this out because I want more werewolves in vests in cinema. Like, this movie criminally does not have any sweater vest, which I think is the next key step. If we get a sequel to Werewolves somehow, we need sweater vest werewolves. That's my big thing.
Nice picks, solid picks. Like, I've not seen either, but I have interest to see both. All right. Who's next? Siobhan.
Who should we pick?
Who's gonna go next?
Marcelo, I can't decide.
Oh, you can't?
Who do you think?
All right, you know what?
No.
I can't decide.
Thomas is gone.
I can't decide either. You know what, Brian? Who do you think should go next?
Well, I mean, I would like to hear, you guys', but I don't know. I can't pick either.
You know what? If you can't pick, you have to go next.
Exactly.
Brian?
Seems only fair.
Yeah. What is it that you've been watching?
So I've been kind of in catch-up mode, catching up on a lot of 2024 movies that I missed, that kind of went under my radar. So I want to shout a couple of them out that I've been catching up on. The first one I want to do is a film called Red Rooms, which is directed by a director named Pascal Plante. This is a French-Canadian movie that centers around this courtroom trial of this very upsetting and very brutal murder that also happened to coincide with the dark web, hence the title Red Rooms, and mainly focuses on this woman who becomes more and more interested in this court case. And I don't want to give too much of the plot of this movie away. I think that's kind of where I want to leave this, because it is not only an incredibly disturbing and upsetting movie and really dark. I mean, giving a lot of David Fincher vibes, or Fincher / Soderbergh. It kind of has that kind of look to it. But just this character is whose name is Kelly Ann, and it is just such a fascinating and weird ride that this movie is, where you just have no idea what the hell is up with this person or what they're doing. And it is, I say it's disturbing. It's more disturbing in the sense that a lot of the descriptions of what you hear in terms of what the murders are end up being far more disturbing than anything that you actually see, as well as people's reactions to watching certain videos. I will just say that this is such a gripping, fascinating, disturbing movie that I think has a lot to say about true crime obsessives and people who are really get interested in true crime. And I think it also has quite a bit to say about technology. I love the way that this movie uses screens, as well as surveillance. There's a lot of cameras and watching surveillance footage that I think is really, really fascinating. And it's a movie that I have not stopped thinking about, and I have just not been able to get out of my head. It's I as much as I would recommend it, I would also say that it will probably ruin the rest of your day. So watch at your own discretion. But yeah, just a truly phenomenal film, Red Rooms. And then another one I wanted to shout out that I know came out earlier this year, but I don't think came out anywhere near where I live. I want to shout out Problemista, the film from Julio Torres, which I believe is his first film, which this was distributed by A24 earlier this year. Kind of a bit buried, if you ask me, but that's whatever. They clearly have their own strategy over there. But it also stars Julio Torres as this aspiring toy designer from El Salvador who moves to New York City and is trying to both get a visa so he can stay in the country, but is also trying to get his dream job at Hasbro. And he ends up working for this just insane woman who is played by Tilda Swinton. One of my favorite performances of the year from both of them, but especially Tilda Swinton as this person who is just an absolute mess, and who anytime you see her camera flash is always on and pointing at someone, which I think is such a funny and incredible detail. you also have, I mean, the RZA is in this movie, so is Isabella Rossellini as the narrator. And I just found it both incredibly unique as this, like, I almost described it as like Gen Z Terry Gilliam at times, where it has these kind of like dream worlds that he builds that are kind of fantastical and kind of very insane looking, but also is this incredibly cutting movie about capitalism and, you know, just the incredible, just the like foolishly designed like bureaucratic institutions that you know we have in this country. But I was just so surprised and taken aback by just how much it kind of moves past what you think it's doing. I think in the last act it becomes like something a bit deeper, and not just kind of, you know, especially with the way it handles Tilda Swinton's character as not just like a crazy Karen lady or something like that. It does go a lot deeper into that, and I just, yeah, I really, really love this movie. It's one of my favorite movies of the year, and seeing as it is an A24 movie that they, you know, did not handle the best in terms of release, I would just love for more people to see it, because I think it's absolutely fantastic. So yeah, Problemista is my second pick.
So good, yeah. Both movies I've seen, both movies I do enjoy a lot. Problemista had to, I think they pushed that back because of the strikes last year.
Yes.
I think that's a reason why it was released like in early, was it like, it was in March maybe? Earlier
somewhere in the spring,
yeah. But yeah, I think we shouted out Tilda Swinton in the last episode, or 2 episodes ago, right, Siobhan? I think I and Elise put her on our supporting actress category. So yeah, good picks.
Yeah, really love particularly the Terry Gilliam element. I think is really accurate about Problemista. Like those bits of magical realism that infect that movie, I think are really great. And I haven't seen Red Rooms, but I do have the weird thing where every time I see that one poster, I'm just like, that isn't Jessica Chastain, right?
I can confirm it is not.
Right.
And hey, spoiler alert, I'll talk about Red Rooms, maybe not on this episode, but maybe later on this season. Whoa.
Now, Marcelo,
what's up, Siobhan?
I think we should do what we have been watching here.
Okay.
Actually, I just remembered something.
Fair. All right. You know what? If you've got one, I've got at least one. All right. Here, let me go first, then you go. Okay? Is that all right? Is that okay with you?
You know what? You're the boss. Take over. Please dominate me.
I saw Rope for the first time.
Is this how your guys' podcast work? Do you does one of you clearly dominate the other?
I think it depends on the episode, really.
Yeah. So look, Rope.
Whenever I listen, I don't hear it, but it could be happening behind the mic. You know?
I edit a lot out.
1948, Rope, directed by Alfred Hitchcock. Mr. Hitchcock himself. I haven't seen this in about, I'd say, 20 years. Then me and former guest of this show, Elise Poston, decided to put this on for New Year's Eve. This was the last movie I saw in 2024. Just a random pick. Just like, let's just pick something to watch. I ended up picking Rope, and it was a great pick because it definitely holds up. Well directed. This is all just, it's everybody should already know this. Rope is a solid film from Hitchcock, perfectly directed, perfectly acted, suspenseful. If you haven't seen Rope by now, you should see Rope. It's a quick 81 minutes, starring Jimmy Stewart, as a guy who says, "Hey, this dinner party's not going so great. What's going on here? Did somebody get killed?" It's basically the plot of the movie.
Yeah.
Is there some sort of rope here?
But it's fantastic.
Your boy is gay?
No, not that there's anything wrong with that. No, not at all.
Incredible. So that is it. That is what I have been watching is Rope by Hitchcock. Siobhan, you got a movie? Or hold on.
Love Rope.
Siobhan, what is it that you've been watching?
What is it that I have been watching? It's the Oscar season, everybody. So I decided to watch a Best Picture winner that I had never seen. It would have won in 1989. Anybody got a guess?
It would have. Wait, did it win?
It did win Best Picture winner.
Best Picture, 89.
And so this would have been in 88? You're saying it was the year it was released?
Yeah, it was an 88 movie, won in 89.
Oh, so it's Rain Man then, right?
No, I know.
It's Rain Man.
Oh, never mind. I thought I was going to go with Platoon. That's 86, though. No, yeah, Rain Man. All right.
You know what? I'd never seen it before. Cruise is like an insane asshole, and Hoffman is doing something. But like, it's a sweet movie. I liked it. It's pretty outdated in a lot of ways.
Really?
But, at its core, it is a sweet movie, and it's okay. It beat The Accidental Tourist, Dangerous Liaisons, Mississippi Burning, Working Girl for Best Picture.
Huh.
I haven't seen any of those. So. Rain Man.
That's a huge blind spot for me. I've not seen it.
I remember I saw it when I was younger. And it's just one of those weird movies where like it was so culturally ubiquitous for a while.
Yeah.
Like I knew this movie way more for like Wapner and like the Suits and like the fucking all that other shit before I ever saw it. And then I saw it when I was a kid. I remember, it kind of playing me like a fiddle. And then we watched it a couple years ago. And I don't know if I like really like it at this point, but I think it is such a fascinating cultural object of a movie that like this was like the biggest movie of all time when it came out and won all these awards and shit.
Grossing movie of the year.
Yes. Crazy.
That's wild to think about now.
Yeah.
It is. Won Best Director, Barry Levinson. He beat Fish Called Wanda. We talked about that last year. And he also beat Martin Scorsese for Last Temptation. Very well deserved. Good job, Barry.
Now,
Dustin Hoffman beat Hanks for Big.
Yes.
Now, I think we touched on this when we talked about, I think it was the Best Actor category, because, Best Supporting Actor. I think we talked about Best Supporting Actor last year, because we talked Kevin Kline and A Fish Called Wanda.
Kline, yeah.
Who was not nominated from Rain Man, who should have been?
Amazingly. Well, Dustin Hoffman should have been Best Supporting Actor. Uh-huh. And Tom Cruise should have been nominated for Actor, but that's not how they went. And he wasn't even nominated for Best Supporting Actor.
Cruise, not nominated for apparently maybe his best role. I don't know. I haven't seen it, but that's what I keep hearing.
Nah. Look, he's very, very good in the movie.
Yeah. Okay. I think it's just, you got to really consider like where he was at this time, though. This is not too far off of like Risky Business. He's still just seen as like, oh, he's the hot guy. He's Top Gun. First Top Gun. He's not a real actor. Yeah.
He had Cocktail the same year. He wasn't serious enough for us yet.
No.
And then Marcelo, I watched this next movie.
Yeah.
Wait, Brian, anything to say about Rain Man? Do you care to?
I've never seen it, to be honest, but we recently did a best top 10 Simpsons episode on our podcast, and there's the episode where they open the casino and there's the Rain Man reference, and I was like,
oh yeah,
yep.
What this is so weird. Never seen Rain Man though. I would like to see it though, just because I love Tom Cruise and he's one of my favorite actors, but yeah, never gotten around to it.
Yeah, a bunch of toothpicks fall on the ground and you can count them all in half a second. Kneecap.
Hey,
Marcelo, this was a recommendation from you.
Yes, I suggested
you said,
see
I'll
this.
really like it. You were really condescending about it. And
oh yeah, it's definitely a Siobhan movie.
You were right.
Hey,
it's a Siobhan movie.
Hell yeah!
It's about my motherland, Ireland.
Yeah.
It's like this thinly disguised moral history lesson presented as this like charming musical comedy about these young rappers that deal drugs and this like teacher that helps them use they're rappers. They want to use the Irish language as their primary language when rapping. Anyway, it feels like a really fresh and lively film. It's very well made. Those two young boys are great. The teachers are great. And There's a lot of spirit and heart to it. One thing I really liked, like, it's a protest movie, but their songs aren't exactly protest songs. They're just like songs about doing drugs and partying and stuff. That was really fun. An ode to how language is freedom and how English has both literally and symbolically invaded foreign countries and stripped them of their identity and agency. And Michael Fassbender was a surprise. I did not know he was in this movie. And he's kind of like in the opening like minute for like this thing that I assumed it was like, oh, is that Michael Fassbender? Oh, this must be a cameo. No, he's in the movie. And a good Fassbender performance. Good comeback from him. He did it. I also watched The Substance this week. A movie about one really dumb old bitch. And I watched Light Sleeper, directed by Paul Schrader.
Oh,
hell yeah.
God. Here we go.
Oh, yeah? Oh, hell yeah?
Okay, here we go.
You're damn right, Brian. Oh, hell yeah. This movie rocks. It's so good. This was chosen by our guest last week. Of course, I'm trying to watch all the films of Paul Schrader, and including his written and directed films. Yeah, so this is just like a really sweet, calm, understated movie about Willem Dafoe being part of a trio of drug dealers with David Clennon and the leader, Susan Sarandon. And like how the cops are timer may be closing in on them, and he doesn't know how long he can get away with it for anymore. But like, again, really gentle-hearted, somber, like downtone, soft movie. Like I'd say, like in the same way as Master Gardener, I'd say is his closest second to it. So it makes a lot of sense that the sweetheart Joey picked it for me, because that's totally Joey. It even it ends in the exact same way as the card counter. Mm-hmm. Like, it's so, like, I don't know. Do you think that was a callback, Brian?
I think
it must have been, right?
He's a really big fan of Robert Bresson, who has this movie called Pickpocket that ends like that exact same way, and Schrader has done that ending like 3 times, I think, because
wow.
There's one other movie I think he has that kind of does a similar ending, but it is funny how like people like Thomas and I were talking about Schrader recently, and the whole like writing in a composition notebook, which is in this movie, but that is also another kind of like, you're definitely watching a Paul Schrader movie when he does like that ending. But I love it.
Yeah. Defoe's fantastic, and obviously, and Susan Sarandon's great too. Obviously. Now, that was our segment on Willem Dafoe, on Paul Schrader. Of course, that was one of Schrader's shooters, the films directed by Paul Schrader. Now, Brian, it sounds like you're a fan of the man.
Oh yeah, I did. Amazing. I did the what you're doing. I did pretty recently. I didn't watch all of them because he's got like so many movies that are kind of like very inaccessible. But I have become a very big fan of his, both his directorial work and obviously his like writing credits are incredible.
Yeah, I love to hear that. But this is a recurring segment, and now I ask my guests, Brian, I would like you to pick my next installment of Schrader's Shooters. I can watch either Blue Collar, Mishima: A Life in 4 Chapters, Hardcore, Touch, Dominion prequel to Exorcist, Adam Resurrected, or Forever Mine.
Oh man,
I'm the expert here.
You know, there's a few like really great ones in there. My favorite, I think, and I would have to recommend Mishima: A Life in 4 Chapters.
Okay.
I think it's just one of the most like beautiful films ever made, and like the score from Philip Glass on its own just like elevates that movie beyond like to like just such an incredible level. I really love that movie. It's one I keep revisiting, and just kind of like it's so kind of unlike a lot of Schrader's movies, because like you said, like Light Sleeper is very like understated and everything, but Mishima has these like incredible like just lavish sets and just so much stuff. I think it's a real masterpiece.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brian. I'm very excited to watch that one. I've heard so many great things. But Thomas, I'm not going to leave you out on the lurch. I'm going to open up. I'm going to let you dig into the Schrader Shredder and pick out one of his written works for me.
Oh.
You can pick Raging Bull, Old Boyfriends, Mosquito Coast, The Yakuza, The Walker, There Are No Saints, City Hall, or Obsession.
Admittedly, I haven't seen most of those, but I think I'm gonna edge toward Old Boyfriends, which I did recently watch when that was on the Criterion channel. If nothing else, because it's a rare, like, female-led Schrader movie, and particularly for, Talia Shire, I think is really great. And she also writes in a composition notebook, and I'm like, wow, the daring, the gender-flipped composition notebook writing. But also, it's really fascinating, especially just, like, it's about a woman just literally going through, like, her exes and trying to, like, piece together her life. And it's probably, I would say, the best acting John Belushi ever did on film. In that it's a limited amount of movies, but it's the one where he's not just doing his shtick. It's a lot more like genuine acting ability from him.
Cool. Good choice. Interesting choice. Both of you boys. Thank you, boys. Marcelo?
I'm still here. Excellent picks all around. I love Schrader Shredders and Schrader's Shooters. I love these two segments. Let's keep them going all the way through the end of this season. All right, now on to the big stuff. The reason why we're here, which is the best in costume design and hair and makeup. That's right, 2 categories, 2 guests. How many picks is that total? What is that? 40 picks? Jesus Christ. And now we're almost an hour into this episode, into this segment, I should say. So how do we do this, Siobhan? We always ask ourselves, a mini game in this series is, how do we start this off? Okay.
Okay.
We've got 5 each, I'm assuming, with some honorable mentions, right? But we just got to decide who's going to go first.
Here's what I think. Here's what I'm thinking.
All right.
I'm thinking we sandwich these boys.
Okay.
One of us goes first, one of us goes last.
Yeah.
Thomas, you had a reaction to that?
Yeah. Thomas has a reaction.
I'm down for a good sandwich, sure.
Okay, good.
Okay.
I'm getting hungry.
But you boys are the meat in the sandwich, right?
Yeah.
We're just like 2 lumps of bread, and like really lumpy, weird bread. Doesn't make sense. It's not good. Now, here is how we decide who
That's
goes
right.
first
I forgot about this.
of the boys.
Yeah.
I've got a hockey puck here that I've been flipping to decide these things.
Okay.
So, Thomas, do you want heads or tails?
I'll be what? What's Marcelo?
Sorry, no. I thought they were going to be the meat, so they're going to be 2 and 3. Siobhan, it's me and you.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Heads or tails?
Okay.
Yes, Thomas.
I'm gonna go with my pick for best supporting actor, tails.
It was heads. Brian, you get to choose. Do you want to go before or after Thomas?
Oh man. You know what? I'll let Thomas go first. I'll go after him.
Okay, Marcelo, heads or tails?
Okay, see. Okay, this makes more sense to me. All right, I'll pick heads.
I think it's more likely to end up on heads. I don't know how these things are weighted, but... Tails!
All
I
right.
want to go last.
Okay, I'll go first.
It's been decided.
Yeah. Let's.
Now, which category are we doing? Heads or tails?
Heads costume.
Heads is costume.
Yeah.
It's tails. Makeup and hairstyling
Makeup
first.
and hair. All right, sounds good.
All right.
All right, I'll go first. I've got my list ready. I've got 5. I've got some honorable mentions. I'll quickly go through, okay? I'm just going to zip right through these. Here we go. The best of 2024, makeup and hair. Some quick honorable mentions. Cuckoo. Love that movie. Some nice goopy effects. Some nice makeup effects. Some good hair. Got some wigs in there. Pretty good. Also, honorable mention, really came close to making my top 5. Nosferatu. Gotta give it up to the hair and makeup on Nosferatu himself. And yeah, the effects work in that, incredible. Really eerie stuff. Eggers, good job. Now the top 5. Here we go. Makeup and hair. Number 5, Hitman. I mean, Glenn Powell. Going through all those looks, I burst out laughing when he did American Psycho. Like, he slicked his hair back. It looked amazing. Hitman, love it for just his transformation throughout the entire thing with makeup and hair. Number 4, Furiosa. I feel Furiosa will end up in these more craft centric categories, the technical categories like this, because it does do it so well. Not as well as I'd say Mad Max Fury Road, but when looking at the year, like, yeah, makeup and hair, every single detail, every single character in that movie, it's just like the makeup, the hair, it's so beautifully made. I love it. Number 3, makeup and hair. I gotta shout out Honora. Because it just feels so real, so lived in. And Mikey Madison, her makeup and hair, like, in particular, it's like this. Yeah, like I said, it feels like she kind of did it herself, like she made herself up. But there are some craft people behind it. But yeah, I love the look in regards to makeup and hair when it comes to Honora. Number 2. These are the basically tied for number 1, but if I have to rank them, I'll do it this way. Number 2, A Different Man. Incredible prosthetic work when it comes to Sebastian Stan in the first half of the movie. In particular, and then as the film goes on, like you still see some like makeup and hair effects, but not to the extent of like that first half. Incredible work there to kind of capture the real life neurofibromatosis, and yeah, incredible effects work when it comes to that. But my number 1 is, of course, The Substance. I love The Substance. The effects work in that, when it comes to makeup and hair, goes beyond what I think any other film this year has done, really, except for A Different Man. But this is a horror movie. This is like goopy guts. Turn away from this. Even I was like grossed out by some of it, and it's thanks to the incredible makeup and hair work. So that's my top 5, makeup and hair. I'm done.
Great stuff, Marcelo. I don't remember who was next.
Yeah, I'll go ahead with my. I mean, I guess honorable mentions. I'll spoil. This is a very horror-packed category this year, but I mean, a couple that were like very close to that were like Terrifier 3 and In the Violent Nature. Mainly because I was kind of on the fence of like, is it special effects makeup or not with those two? But I think it's like some of the best kind of like goopy, gory stuff that I saw this year. But yeah, I'll go ahead and go into my 5. Some of these are repeats of what Marcelo said right off the bat. Hitman. Completely agree that like the way that they transform Powell in this movie is incredible. Particularly the fucking Tilda Swinton disguise is astonishing. That like they turn Glenn Powell into Tilda Swinton for like a scene, and it's stellar, and I can't believe that fucking happened. It's a really great way to accentuate everything that Powell was portraying in that particular disguise. And all the other ones are awesome too. Wonderful stuff. My next one, Nosferatu, which I will agree that I think I had many problems with Nosferatu, even though I did like it. Listen to our Patreon where Brian and I talked about that. But I think there's a lot of like really clever and interesting makeup stuff. I think particularly, as much as I have some issues with the portrayal of Count Orlok in this movie, I can't deny that it does feel truly transformative for Bill Skarsgård to become this particular version of the character. I think it's really stellarly done. Then my next one, Longlegs. And it's not just because of Cage. Admittedly, Nicolas Cage's transformation to Longlegs is incredible. I love that they didn't show this at all in the marketing. And then when we did end up seeing it, it is truly just like a fascinating visage of like basically a hair metal guy who completely lost track of time in a basement and is just like truly like curdled into this like weird visage. But even some of the other subtler makeup design stuff, like Alicia Witt in that movie. The way that she's so gaunt and kind of like almost like her life has been kind of sucked out of her, I think is like a really incredible subtle makeup job that deserves a lot of credit. Then my number 2 is I Saw the TV Glow, which the stuff I said about Alicia Witt times like 10 with this movie. This movie just captures kind of the weird, sweaty uncomfortableness of particularly like living in the suburbs and being very much like isolated with like the way that so many people are like truly like sweating or feel like so pale. Like fucking Fred Durst in this movie, when we see him, is like a ghost of like a suburban dad, and it's like such an incredible underrated makeup job. And then especially the different kind of designs we get for the actual the Pink Opaque TV show is like perfect at capturing the weird uncanny nightmarishness of like 90s era kids TV in a really incredible way. And then my number 1, I'm with Marcelo. The Substance has to be like the top here, if nothing else, for just recapturing like the kind of makeup effects I haven't seen since like Screamin' Mad George was doing shit in the 80s. Like, it is so astonishing that like we got this incredible cartoonish but still like fascinating version of like what kind of like our beauty standards can mutate and morph into. Yeah, I think it's incredible. I think it's definitely, I hope this is definitely like the one horror movie that I wish would get the actual like makeup award win come the Oscar season ending.
Oh, solid picks from a solid player.
Oh, shucks.
Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff.
Brian, up to bat.
Kick his ass.
Dunk on him.
Let's go.
Yeah, all right. So to get a couple honorable mentions out of the way, I did want to give an honorable mention to Challengers, which doesn't have a ton of makeup and hair, but does a lot of like subtle things to sort of show you how characters have aged in kind of subtle ways that I really loved, particularly with like Mike Feist's like hairline kind of changing throughout the film. I thought was like such a great way of sort of depicting when we are in the movie. I also want to shout out the bike riders, just some fucking dirty, disgusting leather boys. Love the stuff in that movie. And also The Beast, the Bertrand Bonello film, which has like 3 separate timelines, one of which is like a costume drama, which I just think is great. But for my top 5, my number 5, I'm going to go with Nosferatu. I agree with everything you guys have said. I love the look of Count Orlok in this movie. I think he just the decision to go very different from Max Schreck, but to still retain like the long nails, for instance, or the kind of like posture that he has, I think is really great. And everyone else in the movie, I think, is just in crazy, like, you know, just looks amazing. Like Dafoe and Ralph Ineson, they all look really, really incredible in this movie. My number 4, I'm going to go with A Different Man, which Marcelo also mentioned. I completely agree. Just the prosthetics that he's wearing, Sebastian Stan is wearing in the first half of this movie, is really incredible. And like, I think the way that he's able to still kind of like give a unique performance as, you know, Sebastian Stan under all of this kind of like makeup that he's wearing is really incredible. And I think that, yeah, they just do a really great job. And I love that movie. Then I have Furiosa, a Mad Max saga. Like you guys mentioned, like just insane looking stuff that is very different to Fury Road. But I still think is like exceptionally well done. And I think that like what they're able to do and how that movie has kind of a more grand scale than Fury Road, I think is quite just really, really, really impressive. I love the makeup and hair in that movie. And then for my number 2, I'm going to go against you guys here. My number 2 is The Substance, which I agree is like truly like unbelievable stuff. And like you said, Marcelo, like even I was just so grossed out by some of the stuff in this movie, and I like to think I have a pretty high tolerance for gross body horror stuff, but like truly there's stuff in the last, sort of chunk of this movie that I have just never seen in another movie. And I think it's incredible. And I also agree with you, Thomas. Like, I think if this could get in here at the Oscars, I think it would be like a really big deal, and also I think incredibly deserving. And then my number one, I have to go with Dune Part 2, because I just, I have a real love for just like the way that sci-fi and fantasy films can just make you feel like you're not even looking at like people that, this movie has like, one of the most recognizable casts of like, the biggest actors working today. And yet the way it's able to make them look so just otherworldly. I mean, like just the like stuff that they do with like all like, Dave Bautista's, the way he looks, and obviously like Austin Butler just looks absolutely incredible. I just think it's a real feat for, obviously it's a very big deal to have like a Dune film. Like Denis finally, he made, I think, what is probably the best version of Dune for, of all time. And I don't see how you could do it a better version of that. And I think how he's able to realize everything and realize this world, I think is just really, really, really incredible. So yeah.
Incredible list.
Awesome. Thank you for shouting out some leather boys. I appreciate that. From you too. I suppose it's my turn.
Siobhan,
my honorable mention.
You're on deck. It's your mic.
Thank you, Marcelo. Thank you for reminding me.
Siobhan, go ahead.
Okay. So my honorable mention here was Hitman. Same reasons you said, and I'll actually talk about it in just a little bit with another entry here. And also I wanted to say Deadpool and Wolverine, because I still love that Deadpool under his mask look. But it's the same thing they've been doing since the first movie, so I didn't include it. Number 5, Furiosa, a Mad Max saga. We have so many iconic looks in this movie. Furiosa's look is iconic. The Blood Boys, or whatever the hell, iconic. Everything gets sandier and dirtier out there in the desert as the movie progresses. It's all just incredible stuff. Number 4, Anora. They made Ani and all the girls in this club look like fucking queens in the castle. Amazing. Number 3, Joker, Folie à Deux. I love their clown designs. I love that they don't overdo it. Lee's is like perfect for just like, I don't know, going out, and it just looks a little weird. And like when Arthur gets beaten up and there's blood, and near the end of the film when he gets covered in the rubble and stuff, like it just looks so good. And also like the makeup is the story of this movie, it is very pivotal to the film, to the story of the film. The makeup, like the Joker is the makeup. Arthur Fleck is the man. I appreciate that. There's a lot of attention to detail and thought that goes into that. Number 2, the People's Joker. I love Vera's original Joker makeup and hair designs so much that I made a fucking painting as like an ode to them. Like that's how much I love them. So take that how you will. Number 1, I'm with 2 of the boys here. The Substance.
Hey.
Now you guys mentioned all the prosthetics and the gore and practical like effects and stuff, and how they look amazing. And the last 20 minutes is hilarious. I could not stop laughing with how truly insane they get with these effects. But also, I think special. You got to shout out how they like made these ladies, like all extra sexy, gorgeous, dolled up for the movie and used that as like they weaponized it for both sexiness, hotness, and for commentary on beauty standards and age and stuff. Yeah. Next is costume design.
Ooh.
And of course, to decide this, all we do is flip what we just did. Now I'm going first.
Okay.
Simple enough.
So, yep, best costume design. My choice is honorable mention Conclave.
Sure.
Look, I know everybody's wearing the same thing, but it looks damn good, doesn't it?
It does. You know what? It fits them pretty well. Yeah.
I know, right? Also, I wanted to say Late Night with the Devil for some reason, but I couldn't quite remember why. I guess the 70s suits look really good. And then Monkey Man, again, I wanted to mention, but I couldn't remember enough of the movie, which is... I wanted to like that movie so much. Number 5, The People's Joker. Just as her makeup was fashionable, so is her fashion is fashionable. That purple coat as she does those kicks down the stairs. The red suit sitting in the waiting room. A lot of it's parody of other Joker. A lot of it's homage to other Joker. A lot of it's making your own thing out of other stuff. She did a beautiful job on that. It feels like her budget was way more than it was. I don't know how they made those costumes, but good on them. Number 4, challengers. I buy it. Those are tennis players.
Yes.
Number 3, here's where I put Hitman. And I decided to say like the same stuff you guys did. Yeah. It's just like it's Glenn when he it's like the suit makes the man. When he puts that on, when he puts on those clothes, he is a new person. And like you just see that. It feels like he was so inspired by his performance feels inspired by what he is wearing. And it's like as much as the things that he's actually doing rip-offs of, it's like it's just so perfectly done. Number 2, said this one earlier, didn't I? Joker, Folie à Deux. Oh my god, I think about Gaga's red blazer all the time. That's so good. And Arthur's suit is great, and all the person clothes. And when we jump around with space and go to this magical realism segments and have the musical numbers, everybody just looks so glamorous and gorgeous and highfalutin. It's just fantastic stuff. Number 1, The Substance.
Hey.
Double number 1s from me for this movie. So much spandex. The leather bodysuit that Maggie Q wears, Hachi Machi. Hot stuff, sexy stuff on these ladies. And I know you can't disagree. That is my stuff.
Nice stuff there, Siobhan.
Thank you.
So now we go to Brian, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
Reverse order? Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Yeah. Costume design. Honorable mentions. I want to shout out Hitman. You guys mentioned just all of the different outfits he has. Like, they look amazing. I just love how many different looks he has, and I was just like, God, what other look could he have next? What is he going to be wearing? This is amazing. I also wanted to shout out Challengers, which I just absolutely adore, and I love the outfits. I think the fact that they are all like branded outfits is both accurate to what tennis actually is, but then I've been thinking about Josh O'Connor's like plaid shorts that he wears because he's like broke and can't afford anything. Like, I've been thinking about that look he has all year. I think it's such a great look. And then I want to shout out In a Violent Nature. I just love the look that the main killer of that movie has, just the like fireman costume and everything that he has. It's just such a great look. But onto my top 5. Number 5, I am going to go with The Beast, which I had my makeup. I just think I just the way that it has 3 different sections, which are this kind of period piece, modern day LA, and then near future France, I believe. It just looks absolutely incredible, particularly the period piece stuff, but also just the way that George McKay handles a pair of like sunglasses and a sort of little speech he gives about sunglasses is just really funny to me. And I love the way that he just kind of like carries himself in these outfits. I think it's really great. My number 4, I'm gonna go with Megalopolis, which is a objectively flawed film. I can't deny that, but I just think all of the costumes in this thing look so insane and so crazy. And like, I mean, Aubrey Plaza, of course, we all respect and remember WoW Platinum. Just the way she shows up in these crazy weird outfits that are like truly like Roman epic kind of like outfits, I think are just incredible. And I think it is a part of the movie I just, can't help but love. Number 3, I have Nosferatu. Just incredible craftswork for the costumes in this movie. They all look so incredible. Great coats. I love Orlok's coat that he's like wearing the whole movie. Lily Rose Depp, like, I mean, incredible scene where she like rips a dress and it's just like so incredible and like just really gripping. Yeah, I just absolutely love that. Number 2, I have Furiosa, a Mad Max saga. Just incredible costumes. I think like, which is, you could say that for Fury Road, of course, which I believe it won that year. I'll never forget just the costume designer going up with like, she looked like a leather punk. She looked so fucking cool. And I just love the costumes in this movie. I think that like the way that they've the Mad Max look of like everyone's super dirty and everything's kind of cobbled together from just like whatever's left out in the world, I just think is such a genius way of handling like the post-apocalypse. And I just love the look of the costumes in this. And my number 1, which is the same for me as well, is Dune Part 2. Same as my makeup and hair. I just think the look of so many of these costumes, not just the like soldiers, like the Sardaukar kind of like black armor that just looks so incredible with like the like face plate that is like you can't like see through it. I just looks so incredible, but also like a lot of the other more like regal costumes. Like I've been thinking about Florence Pugh's like chainmail dress and like headpiece that she wears. Like it just looks so incredible. I just think, again, same for the makeup, like I said, like the way that Villeneuve and his team were able to like realize this world and really get, bring to life a lot of these things that obviously were only in the Frank Herbert book, I think is really, really incredible. And like, just really gorgeous. And same as I said with the makeup, like otherworldly costume design. But yeah, those are my picks.
Awesome. Incredible picks, one would say.
Thank you.
Beautiful picks.
And now, Thomas.
Yes. I'll go ahead and name off
Kick
a few.
his ass, Thomas.
Yes. Yeah. Hell yeah. Finally. But I mean, there's like...
Get your revenge.
This was all an elaborate plot. I mean, in terms of honorable mentions, there's like a couple that you guys have been mentioning, like Dune Part 2 and Furiosa, that like I give a lot of credit for, even though they are working off previous material at the same time. I think they do a pretty good job of, readapting it into a new film, but I think there was just a certain other movie that I'll get to in my main list that kind of did that better. And also Baby Girl, I think kind of underrated in terms of its costume design, with particularly like Kidman's various different looks in that movie. And also it's a great movie for how much or little clothing anyone can wear in a different setting, I think is very key. It's kind of like in Score, where it's like, when do you play music and when do you not? It's like, when do you have shirts or pants on and when do you not? I think it's a great movie for recognizing all that. But On to my top 5. Number 5, I have Nosferatu. A lot's been said about Ferratu. I mean, particularly with like the period costuming and especially how much the costumes are able to like rip in the perfect way. Like whenever Lily Rose Depp goes on her like insane ravage kind of like almost possession style like writhings. I think they do a great job of like managing to like have them tear in just the right way. And fucking Nosferatu has that giant ass coat. Like that Count Orlok coat is so fucking good for hiding the massive giant Bill Skarsgård shoulders that could kill you if he tried to like bump you with one of them. Incredible stuff there. My number 4 is La Chimera. Which the movie starring Josh O'Connor, which I think has incredible like subtle costumes that feel very like well worn and secondhand in a way that really works for all the characters. Particularly O'Connor's like white suit is just the perfect level of like off and rumply in like the perfect way. But all the different characters have like very distinctive clothing that feels kind of timeless, even though this movie takes place like in the early 80s. There's just like a wonderful quality to all the looks here. Then my number 3, it kind of has like an even more underlined period aesthetic. Love Lies Bleeding, which I think does such an amazing job of capturing like that particular like late 80s kind of like multicolored kind of outfits with like the different jackets everybody's wearing, also the tank tops, even when like Katie O'Brien is like modeling off and has like the very, very thin kind of bikini look. I think they do such a great job of like having things either be like extremely baggy or extremely tight to kind of reflect where the characters are in their lives. And I think it also just reminds me of looking at pictures of like in my parents' photo albums and seeing them wear like those specific kind of clothes. It just feels like they're pulled right out of the era. My number 2 is a movie that Brian mentioned previously, Megalopolis. I think, just especially for the array of costumes, if nothing else, I think is astonishing. On even just like Shia LaBeouf alone has enough costume changes to like win this movie some respect in that particular category. But I think it does such a great job too of like melding like the kind of Roman aesthetic, but also the kind of like futuristic aesthetic, and like just really blending every single era together into a weird fantastical version of the new Rome setting that movie takes place in. But then my number 1, I think especially just for what this movie is able to pull off on a smaller budget, it's The People's Joker. I think just truly astonishing work that Vera Drew was able to do and her team were able to do with like melding these different things. Like Siobhan was talking about this, like the pop culture collage element of this movie, I think is stellar. Like the main kind of suit that Vera ends up wearing has like the weird combination of like the Jack Nicholson Joker and of course Joaquin Joker, just all these different things kind of like vibing together in this like incredible pop culture portrait that says so much about the character and the different costume changes they go through, but also just even like the variety of like, you can see so much detail put into like a costume like that, and then for great comedic effect having like the shittiest fucking Halloween store shit. Like I'll just say a certain Batman costume somebody wears like at the very end of the movie. I think it's just the perfect blend of incredible craft on such a small budget and just comedically off-base shitty stuff that I think just makes for an incredible costume design. Incredible
Stuff. I'm blown away by those picks, Thomas. And now it's my turn, isn't it?
Yes.
All right. Pièce de résistance.
Here we go. I think all of these have been mentioned, except for this honorable mention of mine, Kind of Kindness. It came in right below the top 5 for me. Yorgos Lanthimos' divisive film of this year. I especially like certain costumes, certain like I'll just highlight Emma Stone's like character, like what she wears like throughout the entire last segment is, I think it helps make that character. It builds a story around her, and you kind of think like, how did she end up in that suit? But yeah, like it's, certain I guess choices made in that movie when it comes to costumes and fashion. Very interesting. So that's a big honorable mention for me. Now for the top 5. Previously mentioned The Beast. I believe Brian talked about it already. Going through like several decades, from the past to the future. It's part costume drama, part future, sci-fi drama. But it all makes sense. It all feels very authentic, even though yes, it is a sci-fi premise. Number 4, Hitman. So we've all said it. The clothes make the Hitman. So solid. Number 4. Number 3, also been said, Nosferatu. Those coats, come on. Nosferatu's big heavy coat, love it. Basically, it's a beautiful looking costume drama. Even though I do have my issues with it, I think costume wise, it is stellar. Number 2, also mentioned The Substance. But not for the reason Siobhan was saying. Not mainly for that reason. I love Demi Moore's yellow coat. Like that.
Oh, that coat.
Yeah.
I have to bring up that coat.
Yeah, that
coat's fucking good.
Yeah, that to me, like I was saying before with Kinds of Kindness and like how the fashion builds a character. I can't. Yeah, like if you wanted to draw Demi Moore's character in The Substance, you'd have to draw that coat, that yellow coat, and you go, oh yeah, that's Demi Moore's from The Substance, because it's an iconic coat now, I think. So yeah, The Substance, number 2. My number 1. It was the first movie mentioned in this costume conversation. It was an honorable mention from Siobhan. It's my number 1. Late Night with the Devil.
Wow.
Yeah, I just saw this last night. I continue to love it, and I think what really draws me to it is the authenticity of the whole thing, from the costumes through like the aspect ratios, like the film grain, like the way they really capture that 70s feel, especially with the costumes. It really fools me at times. I'm like, how, it does feel like they pulled this from like archives, and this feels like a throwback. But yeah, it's my favorite of the year in terms of costumes. It may not be the most exciting pick, but it's my personal pick for the best costumes of the year. So that's it for me. That's my top 5.
Awful.
The worst fucking picks. Get out of here.
It's terrible shit.
I liked it.
But I think
Thanks, Brian. Thanks.
Brian's sweet. Brian's being nice, but we Marcelo, we're not done.
I thought we were done. We got to wrap up. All right. So Brian, Thomas, thanks for what? What do you mean?
No. Hey, no. We have this place, right?
We come to this place.
It's called Discord.
Oh, the Discord.
The Talk Film Society Discord. TalkFilmSociety.com/Discord. TalkFilmSociety.com/Discord. You can come join in on the conversation, talk about film, talk about TV, book, movie, video game, whatever you want. Hang out, have fun, pro wrestling. We have an awards channel where we ask the people every single week to give us their picks for the categories of the week, and some people have been doing it. First responder, Jay McMillan. His pick for makeup and hairstyling picks The Substance, Sasquatch Sunset, Nosferatu.
Okay.
A Different Man, Furiosa, I believe he means Furiosa, a Mad Max saga. Marcelo, he had a reaction to Sasquatch Sunset.
Yeah, first time mentioned. It's actually a good pick for I'm assuming makeup and hair. But yeah, I forgot about that movie.
Cool. Costume design, his picks, Jay McMillan. Nosferatu, Furiosa, again, I believe he means Furiosa, Mad Max Saga. Widow Clico.
I don't know what that is.
He spelled Clico wrong. He forgot a C. Beetlejuice.
Okay.
And Dune Part 2, costume design.
Interesting, but fair.
Interesting, but fair.
Yeah.
Friend of the site, Sam Shot First. Former host of Can't Believe It. No interruptions this year. Makeup/hair, I believe he means best makeup and hairstyling. A Different Man, The Substance, and Furiosa, I believe he means Furiosa, the Mad Max Saga. Why can't anybody write that all out?
Come on.
You
know, I'm usually furious when people get that wrong, but I'm just over it by now. It's just people don't care.
I know. I'm so tired.
Yeah.
You mean Furiosa Mad Max Saga is how you feel.
Thank you, Thomas.
Right.
I didn't hear it. Costumes.
It was funny.
I believe he means best costume design. Dune Part 2. Monkey Man. Blitz. Furiosa. I believe he means Furiosa Mad Max Saga.
God damn it.
Gladiator 2.
No, nice. Solid picks, as always.
Yeah. Good costumes there in the Colosseum. The Bat Who Laughs chiming in for the first time this season. Makeup/hair, of course. I believe he means makeup and hairstyling. Nosferatu. Long legs. Abigail, assuming makeup and hair includes the persistent gore. I don't know why it wouldn't. Late Night with the Devil.
Hey.
For makeup and hair. Wow. Wicked. I haven't actually seen this, but damn, does everybody in the trailers look good.
Good one.
All right. Costumes. Nosferatu. In a Violent Nature. Interesting.
For costume.
Long legs. Lisa Frankenstein. I also have not actually watched, but goddamn did everybody look good in the trailer. Wicked,
now,
see above.
Right. Now listen, I know the Bat Who Laughs. He's a friend in real life. Now, I'm gonna come to his house, gonna knock on his door, and just start berating him, saying, "You don't need to tell us what trailers look good. Just tell us the movies you watched."
Well, here's something interesting, too, is he has shout-outs to movies I wanted to put on here, but didn't.
Honorable mentions, you could say.
He had space for. He had space for these, but he went for movies he hasn't seen. The Crow for makeup and hair. That'd have been interesting.
Would have been.
Bloody Axe Wound for makeup and hair. I don't know what that is.
Me neither.
Fucked up. Thinking of that is fucked up. Imagine a bloody axe wound. Ugh.
A static shot of that for 2 hours? Yeah, disgusting.
Oh, God. Makeup and hair and costumes. And Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes for costumes. Every single one of those apes is a guy in a costume, by the way. So, to this day.
I want to at least share, like, having seen Lisa Frankenstein, very good costumes in that movie. Have a lot of problems with that movie, but having actually seen it, being one of 5 people who saw it in the theater, good costumes.
Hey, Thomas, you and me both. Yeah, I saw that in the theater. Yeah. I
was able to make it through 15 minutes of it. Streaming. Turned it off.
It's fine. It's a little disappointing, but I love that everybody else, seemed to love it. The people who loved it, so good for them.
Yeah, I'm glad they have a thing. Mike Schindler, your host, Marcelo's co-host on Soderbergh Manifesto.
Yes. New episode's coming soon.
New episode's coming soon. Presence. Mike Schindler makes his presence known. I feel like costume design needs to go to Alien Romulus because I still tried to buy these Reeboks even after I saw the movie. I thought it was stupid. So he hated the movie, but he still wanted the costume design award to go to Alien Romulus.
And he shared a picture of the Reeboks, right?
I'm trying to think of they're just in like regular clothes, aren't they?
I think he just was talking about the shoes, the tennis shoes, right? He's a
shoe guy.
He's a shoe guy, yeah.
But he wanted the costume. He awarded his costume design award to Alien Romulus.
Shoes are costumes.
Okay, but these shoes aren't in the movie.
Oh, they're not in the. Okay, I'm glad you clarified that.
These were limited edition Romulus Reebok.
Are you sure? I'm gonna look this up.
Yes, I'm 100% sure.
Okay. Well, Mike, be careful. Tread lightly.
Just be careful, Mike.
Be careful.
Tread lightly in those shoes.
R.J. McCready coming to us from the frigid cold. Maybe the last act he ever does to tell us his makeup choices. The Substance. Smile 2. Romulus, I believe he means Alien Romulus. Long Legs. His choices for costume. The Crime Is Mine. And Smile 2. He says Night Bitch should be punished for what they are doing to Amy Adams. I don't know what that means. And then he also says there was this indie movie I saw at a virtual festival I saw called Canvas that was solid, but I don't know if it's received distribution yet. So he's nominating Canvas, I guess. Okay.
Smile 2 is a really inspired choice for both of those, actually. I was contemplating that, particularly the main outfits that Naomi Scott wears throughout that movie are quite good.
And the big smiles, too. It's all practical.
Smiles
I've got some breaking news. I just sent a picture to the Discord message group with Thomas and Siobhan. I want you to zoom in on the feet of that picture of the shoes.
Again.
Are they in the movie?
Yes, they're in the movie.
They are.
Hey,
Yeah.
Best shoes, Alien Romulus.
Thank you.
None can disagree. RJ McCready comes back later to say, glaring and egregious costume design snub this far. Hundreds of beavers. Why don't you just say it yourself? All right, Zephyr. Zephyr.
Zephyr.
Away on my Zephyr. Best costume design. They say Dune Part 2. She used the number 2. I believe she meant to spell out TWO.
Yeah.
Megalopolis. And Challengers.
Nice.
Best makeup and hairstyling. Dune Part 2. Same thing. I believe she meant to spell out TWO instead of the number 2. Megalopolis. Maxine. And Longlegs.
Okay.
And we got one more.
One more.
You guys excited? One more?
Oh, God, I'm so...
Can you guys handle it?
Yeah.
On the edge of my seat.
Costumes from past guest on this show. Two-timer.
Woo.
The animated guy. Joey Hamilton.
The animated guy.
He is a cartoon, I believe, not actually like a live action person.
He is a cartoon. Joey, his picks for costumes. Dune Part 2. Again, he's the number 2. It's TWO. Get it right. Wicked. Furiosa. It's Furiosa Mad Max Saga. You motherfucker. Beetlejuice. Hitman. Quite in line with us, I'd say.
Yeah.
With 3 of those.
Yeah.
None of us said Beetlejuice.
I mean, it's...
The same shit they were doing 40 years ago, right?
Yeah, it's nothing exciting. It's nothing... I mean, that
The
movie's
first
not exciting.
Beetlejuice, a best makeup winner, I believe, back in 89.
Yeah.
Yeah. So think about that.
I'll think
Makeup. He did not say hairstyling here, so this might just be makeup. Beetlejuice. Furiosa, I believe he means Furiosa Mad Max Saga. Wicked. The Substance. A Different Man. I haven't properly seen the last 2, but what I've seen is very impressive. Joey, you do this every week.
Joey.
You nominate movies you haven't seen. I don't get it. I've learned to accept it, but I'm still going to call it out every time.
What are you, the Academy voting party?
Oh shit. And then also in our Discord, we have a couple more. Stook Man. His quick best costume design, he says. Nosferatu, Love Lies Bleeding, Challengers, The Substance is his winner. He puts it 4th. Stand Up Solutions. Stand Up Solutions is a very funny one. Love Lies Bleeding. I just saw that the other night. Costumes, sure, yeah, I don't know. It gives 80s, I guess. Mr. Gale says he liked the monster costumes in TV Glow. Cool. We're done.
Hey, we're done with the Discord picks.
TalkFilmSociety.com/Discord. TalkFilmSociety.com/Discord. That is TalkFilmSociety.com/Discord. To get a link, come join the Discord. We've got a lot of fun people in there having fun, hanging out.
We've got one more segment, and then we can call it a night.
Cool it in the way.
This is the Gold Derby game. All right, so every week, or every episode, I should say, I quiz Siobhan. And this is up until we find out who gets nominated for the Oscars. Because after that, it's not as fun, right? Mm-hmm. According to Gold Derby, which Gold Derby is a site where experts, so-called experts, some yahoos, some people who are obsessed with this stuff and have no, life outside of award season talk, they decide, hey, these are the top 5 films that are most likely to get nominated in each category, and we're going to focus on costume design and makeup and hair. Now,
wow.
The way this always goes is I'm going to quiz Siobhan. And Siobhan, you will have a phone a friend in both Thomas and Bryan. Now, what's special here is you can use both of them in each category. So you got 2 phone a friends this time. All right.
2 phone a friends per category?
Yes, 2 phone a friends per category.
Okay.
All right. We're going to start with Best Costume Design.
All right.
All right, Siobhan, take it away.
Dune Part 2.
Dune Part 2 is number 2. You got it.
Wicked.
Wicked is number 1.
The Academy loves movies.
The Academy does love movies. That is a hint.
That's a hint. Gladiator 2.
Ooh, Gladiator 2, number 3.
Costume design.
You got the top 3.
I feel like calling in one of my hints now.
All right. Yeah. You can pick one of the our 2 guests and have them help.
Which leather boy do I think could help me the most on costume design? Brian, will you come in here? What do you think?
Of course. Costume design. Oh, man. I kind of want to... I think A Complete Unknown might be in there. Is it?
That is incorrect. That's coming at number 12.
Number 12?
Sorry.
Wow.
Yeah.
How about Beetlejuice?
Ooh, so close. Number 6.
Fuck me.
Yeah. Remember, you have one more phone a friend.
I do. And that's 3 X's for me. Now, Mr. Okay, I'm going to call Thomas.
All right, Thomas.
Ring, ring, ring. Thomas, I've been really bad to you a lot, but I need you to help me now.
Well, has Honora hasn't been guessed, right?
Is that your guess?
Yes.
I'm sorry to say, Honora comes in number 34.
Damn.
Wow.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
The Substance?
The Substance comes in number 10.
Oh.
That's 4 X's by my count, Siobhan.
Yeah, we've definitely done. We're done.
All right, so Siobhan, 3 out of 5 ain't bad. Number 4, you would have never got this. Nobody here would have got this. I would not have got this. Maria.
Oh, of course, right. The Angelina Jolie movie, right. Duh.
And number 5.
Conclave?
No, number 5. I'm surprised nobody got this because we were talking about it just. It was on our lists.
The People's Joker. Wow.
Yeah.
Nosferatu.
Oh,
I didn't want to say that one. I didn't think it would be in there.
Sorry to say, you should have said it. You should have went with your gut. All right, now we go to makeup, hair. Same rules apply. Siobhan, take it.
Makeup and hair.
Away.
Makeup and hair. Dune Part 2.
Excuse the pause because I'm still scrolling to find makeup and hair. All right, I got it. Say that again.
Wicked.
Wait, you can know. Wait a second. Wait a second. Start again. Siobhan, makeup and hair. Go.
Dune Part 2.
Dune Part 2, yes. That comes in number 5.
Oh, well, I actually didn't think it would.
Wicked comes in number 2.
This is where I wanted to say Nosferatu.
Nosferatu, unfortunately, comes in number 6.
What?
What the fuck?
Yeah.
What in the shit?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. The Substance, I think, can do this one.
The Substance, number 1.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Fuck is not on here.
A Different Man.
A Different Man, number 3.
How much left?
You have 1 left. The 4th spot.
Oh.
Remember, you can call in.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, you can call one of the boys.
I'm gonna try once more without a boy, see if I can finish it off myself. Amelia Perez.
Amelia Perez comes in at number 7.
Oh my god, I got 6 and 7 too. All right. Let's call in. I called Brian first last time, so Brian, I'm gonna call you first again. Hairstyling.
Consistency, I like it.
I'm going to go with Honora. I feel like Honora would be here.
Honora does not make the list. I should reveal now, since you mentioned one not on the list.
Oh, this is a short list.
This is a short list of 10. So Nora, not on the list.
Short list of 10?
Yeah.
There's only 10?
There's only 10.
Oh, wow. Thomas. Ring.
Oh, hello. Yes.
Will you please tell me your pick for best makeup? Yeah, makeup.
Let's see. I think I'm gonna go with Beetlejuice for this one.
Correct. Beetlejuice.
Oh,
Beetlejuice.
shit.
Yes. We completed one list.
One list has been completed so The Substance, Wicked, A Different Man, Beetlejuice, Dune Part 2, Makeup and Hair, top 5.
What were the 3 I didn't say?
The 3 I didn't say, I'll scroll down. Maria, number 10, The Apprentice, number 9, and Waltzing with Brando, number 8.
Oh, I should have said
Oh, holy shit.
Shout out to sequels. All
Yes.
right, folks, that is the Gold Derby game, and that is the episode. That's it. We've reached the end. Thomas, Bryan, thank you for being here, for joining us, talking awards.
Oh, thank you for having us. We're so glad to be here.
Of course. Yeah. What an honor.
Before we leave the call and leave this behind forever, plugs. Where can the people listening find you online? Who am I going to go to? Bryan, you go first.
Well, of course, you can follow our podcast anywhere at tell me if I'm wrong, Thomas, because I am bad at social media, but it's at cinema number 2 letter, correct?
Correct.
Oh, thank you. Couldn't guess the Gold Derby game, but I can guess this.
Right.
Or you can follow me on Letterboxd or Twitter if you want, or Blue Sky at BRYANDRADE and then the number 3. But yeah, and then we got stuff going on. I'm sure Thomas. I'll let Thomas handle what stuff we have going on our podcast. But yeah, you guys can follow me on there if you really want to.
Excellent. Thomas, take it away.
Well, you can listen to Cinema to the Letter on many different places, but the best place is the Talk Film Society podcast main feed, of course. But you can hear us. We're in the middle of our Criterion season currently. We took a bit of a break during the holiday season, but I think we would have just put out our E for Egregious pick of Game of Death, the Bruce Lee movie, that has a few bits of him and also desecrates a man's corpse literally in that particular movie. But we'll also have some, the rest of the season coming here that we've already recorded. We'll have Terrence Malick's Thin Red Line as our M for Masterpiece episode coming up, and then Monty Python's Life of Brian as our A for Atypical choice. No, not that one. The other one. And you can also follow us in terms of our Patreon, patreon.com/cinema number 2 letter for, just either $1 a month or for $3 for an individual audio recording. That's the lowest one I could do for purchasing an individual thing per Patreon rules. You can hear a bunch of bonus stuff we do, like we do audio reviews. Bryan and I just did literally a 4.5-hour podcast reviewing a bunch of December things, like Nosferatu and Sonic 3. We went very long. And we also are going to have, in January, we'll have a Total Recall audio commentary, which should be fun. And in February, if you like us talking about award stuff, Bryan and I are going to do the second annual LOS Awards, Letters of Cinematic Excellence Awards, where we're going to do our own version of the Oscars, where we're going to do like Best Actor, Best Director, but even we have some other categories that aren't represented by the Oscars, mainly like stunts is definitely going to be on there again. And we'll also have on the Patreon the Cineast Choice, which is we call our patron Cineasts, and you all get to put in your 2 cents about what movies you would want to be seen represented. It gets a special award for our show, and you also get to vote in polls for stuff that individual episodes and stuff that we'll be covering on the main feed and all that. That's all over there at patreon.com/cinema number 2 letter. And I'm at Not the Who's Tommy, mainly on Blue Sky and Letterboxd at this point. Follow me on Letterboxd and see how much bullshit I can fit into a single day.
Excellent. But by the way, Thomas, how many movies did you see last year in total?
I slumped a bit. I did only 865. A fucking chump.
Yeah, come on. Wow. Pick it up. Get to 1,000 this year, all right? Siobhan, anything you want to plug before the end?
No.
All right. Fair. I forgot to do this, so we'll do this as quick as possible. Before that, I'll say this. Hey, the voting is open for the Talk Film Society Awards. Go to talkfilmsociety.com/TFS Awards. Voting is underway as of this episode's release. Vote. Pick the best of the year. All right. Well, real quick. This is the last thing we'll say, and then we'll end the show. I forgot to do this. Who do you think is going to win the Oscar for the two categories we talked about this episode? All right, costume and makeup and hair. Siobhan, you go first. Who's going to win the Oscars?
Costume, Wicked. Makeup, Substance.
Brian.
Costume, Nosferatu. Makeup, The Substance.
Thomas.
Makeup, The Substance. And costume, I'll go with Wicked.
Okay. As for me, makeup, hair, The Substance, costume, I'll say Dune Part 2. And that's it. And as always, I always say this at the end of her show. Siobhan says this too. She does. Trust me. She says, hey, see you at the movies? No. She never says that, right?